buffering.
Stop lying.
That's me.
What up, everybody? Theoretically, we are live. Forgive us for being 2 minutes late. I managed to spill coming down the stairs. So we had to go clean it up. Coffee. We spilled...
Like actual coffee today.
Like this little roll. What do you mean actual coffee today? I have coffee every day.
Well...
What is this question?
Hey, you don't drink it, like...
What?
Down here, ever.
That's roughly true.
Yeah.
But
I've seen you have coffee.
Now with an 8 a.m. kickoff, you nice, because I don't drink coffee right when I wake up. So coffee for me comes much later. No.
Why not?
Do you not follow Andrew Huberman?
Do I look?
That was bad timing. In fairness, I think everybody should follow Huberman. He's amazing.
Give me the top 2 bullet points why I should follow him.
He will help you feel better and live longer. Bullet points 1 and 2.
Feel better and live longer?
Feel better and live longer. Forgive me, Chad. I need
like
a
that.
roller here.
Also, he's jacked.
Because that, I mean, I'm going to guess Eunice isn't going to use it for her own ideal body composition.
Dude, I'm trying to get jacked too.
Let's go. We
No,
getting
I'm
gains
not.
this summer?
Yeah, those was lies.
Dang, I got excited.
Gains?
For a minute.
I am gonna get gains, yes.
What kind of gains are we talking about?
Actually, you know what's crazy? Before I say hello, chat, I have been counting how much protein I'm eating.
Let's go. To what end?
Okay.
Well, I was told I should have a gram of protein per pound. That I am.
A pound of what? Just
Of
randomly?
weight. Of my weight. Give or take a
Yeah.
little. Yeah.
1 to 1.5 of lean body mass, which is essentially all you have. So you'll be fine.
Dude,
Let's go. Get the guns out.
There it is.
Okay, let's go say hello
like
to
it.
chat real quick.
Yeah, what up?
We've got Jay Sharpie saying hi. Hello, Jay Sharpie. We've got
There it
Roller
is.
Girl saying hello
Some
from
young
Las
guy. Come on. Qantas King. That's a very bot thing to say, though. We're about to find out if you're real. True L, como está to you as well. Bring back health theory. Well, now that we are going live, boys and girls, we're going to be talking about all kinds of things. Stick guns, clear glass.
There we
studios.
go. That's what I'm talking about.
Robert has the take-home message. I think everybody needs to just really internalize. Well said, Robert. Well said.
We've got Echo also
T-Star,
saying
toot,
hello.
Eduardo, what's up?
Over to
Jay
Street.
Sharpie. First here in Japan. Let's go, Jay Sharpie. I was thinking of you this morning, Jay Sharpie. I bought this shirt in Tokyo, my favorite place on earth. For anybody that knows who it is, bonus points. And it's starting to show the first signs of passing away. I'm very sad. This is one of my favorite shirts. I have gear fear with this shirt where I will literally not wear it for extended periods of time because I knew one day it would die, as all things do. But I'm very sad. Whoever, I just saw Vietnam go by. What's up to Vietnam? What's up, Philippines? Man, we are global. Singapore's in the house. I love to see it. Ovo, what's up, brother? It is good to see you. Yeah, we now that we're going live on the main channel, YouTube absolutely dwarfs Twitch. For so long during the lives when we weren't going live on the main channel, Twitch just had it on lock. Malaysia, afternoon. Caterpillar, where are you? Because it is morning here where we're recording. Dallas, Texas.
You ever been to the Philippines?
I have been to the Philippines. So in the Philippines was one of 2 places where my mere physical appearance drew so we wanted to go into one of the shanty towns. So it was me and a coworker. Mm-hmm. Oh man. He was the best man at my wedding, and now I sum him up as a coworker. There's something there. Anyway, long story there. So we were walking on the streets of, where were we? Cebu. And there was a rooster on a leash. And I was like, whoa, that's unexpected. And as we're stopping to look at the rooster on a leash, this woman goes inside her shanty, grabs her kid, brings him back out just so that he could see us. And I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, we do stick out because he's even taller than I am. So I'm like, we stick out like a sore thumb. That is for sure. And then the other time was in Taipei, where we drew some looks.
Nice.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It is the beaches in Cebu are the gorgeous white sandy beaches that you see in postcards.
Nice.
So, but the crazy thing is you're like 4 feet from like poverty in all capital letters. And then you go in the gates of the resort and then it's just like the most beautiful beach you've ever seen in your life. And I was like, this is where they take those photos.
Crazy.
I did not realize that just off camera though is squalor. Like
You pan about 2 feet to the left and
yeah,
it
crazy,
changes.
Crazy. But mad love to all my people in the Philippines. But we got to be honest. I mean, LA these days, damn, with all the homeless is a little too reminiscent. Robin, welcome. Good to see you. Jamaica. I've never been to Jamaica, Vinu.
I love me some jerk chicken though.
Jamaica. You been to Jamaica?
I have not.
But you had that jerk chicken.
I loved me some jerk
Let's
chicken.
go.
My best friend in Phoenix is.
What was the beach you just mentioned, by the way?
The who?
The beach.
I cannot tell you the name of the beach or the name of the resort because this was like 20 years ago. But I can tell you it was in Cebu.
Someone's asking.
CEBU.
First time chatter in Twitch saying, I finally get a chance to watch the Twitch stream. I've been a listener and a fan of the show since 2018.
Let's go.
Tom, thanks for all that you bring to the table and topics to discuss. From a fellow screenwriter to a fellow screenwriter, I look forward to the film and script you make one day. I know it's going to be killer.
All right, well, I'm working on Mary Mods right now. Go back, because there was a really interesting and funny thing, but I didn't get to read all the way through it. Right there. It's from Mikkel. Tom, do you think the Fed has mastered spawn killing all of us in Monopoly since 2008? Yes, that is a really fun way to say that, and certainly gets to the heart of the matter. Don't do a drinking game around me and money printing, as you will find yourself with blood alcohol poisoning. However, yes. So when I try to map the world and figure out what's really going on, there are a few things that you keep coming back to. And one of them, certainly right now, thoughts and prayers, THOTS and prayers.
That's what I'm talking about. Come on. I'm just kidding.
Usernames are the greatest thing of all time. So yeah, the money printing is one of the things that I come back to. Also, just how weird the whole idea of the elites are, and that the reason that that idea of you're being manipulated and all that just won't go away is because it really is true. So be unmanipulatable, boys and girls. Be unmanipulatable. Not that I think that that's actually possible, but is directionally wise. Chandler, what is up? Holy exclamation points right back to you. We are live, and we're going to be live a lot. So our goal is to build a really active community here. 3 days a week, we go live for episode prep. And so we're going to be recording an episode later today we have to be done by noon, Drew?
Today?
Yeah.
11:30.
11:30.
I'm trying to give you some time.
Oh, thank you, actually. So we
can-
have to be done by 11:30. So we're going to be live. Are we going to let them watch the episode live? The one that we did on Friday? Banged. So.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way, dear community, for making our most recent episode 1 out of 10. If you guys know anything about YouTube, that's just a regional high. It doesn't mean it's 1 out of our top 10 ever, but 1 out of our top 10 in the last 28 days based on whatever time period you're looking at it. Is it still 1 out of 10? Or has it been?
Let's see.
But that was the episode that I filmed with Lisa on Friday that released yesterday. So thank you. I could tell by looking at just the performance of the premiere that it was probably going to be number 1. So that was awesome. And appreciate that. So yeah, we're trying to cultivate a community. This is proper live streaming. So we're going to be here for the first hour. It's just full engagement with you guys. We'll talk to you about what we're thinking for the episode, trying to find the heartbeat. The second hour is like, we're really starting to get focused on what we're going to be covering. But hopefully you guys are engaging with us. If you think there's something that we missed, if you think that my take is crazy, you'll give me a chance to battle you, is really how I think about it in my mind, and get my ideas sharper. And then the final hour before we record will be mostly Drew and I engaging with each other, making sure that we have a good episode. And then every now and then, Eunice will hit us with something that is particularly germane to what we're going to be covering in the episode. So that'll be the rough flow. And then the final hour is actually us recording the episode. But
And if I may interrupt really quick,
please, yeah.
LeBlanc just gave out a gift sub on Twitch to Toonwalk. So thank you, LeBlanc.
All right, hold on. LeBlanc has to be acknowledged. So if you guys don't know, we've spent the last 3 years building a video game. It's probably going to take us another 3 years, but it's available now. You can go play it right now, but it's releasing in phases. So phase 1 is technically it's phase 3. But anyway, the part you can play right now is pretty Spartan. But we have some incredible community members that are building maps themselves. And I will just say with no false humility that the maps that LeBlanc has built as a member of the community are better than the maps that we built ourselves as the company developing the game. And that's not a slide on us. I think our maps are dope. I just think that LeBlanc's are even better. It's unbelievable. And that was the whole thesis in building the game. The way that we're building it is user-generated content is the future just of everything. As more and more AI comes on board, the velocity of creation will just be way, way, way too high for any company to keep up with. Wizard, it's called Project Kaizen. It's free to play, so by all means, go check it out. By the way, if you see Tom Bilyeu Games saying something, that is you nice. That is you nice. So, by the way, I should tell people her name is actually Eunice, but you nice. It's just too good. It's too good because she really is nice with it.
You know, someone once told me that my name should be You Mean instead because I didn't want to share my crayons with them or something.
That's amazing. Anybody that plays against you in a game would also say your name should be You Mean.
That's crazy.
However, there is something, Eunice, you are just destined to become a character in something because of the bunny outfit. That you have, and yet you just absolutely murder people in game. It is amazing.
What can I say?
In America, we pay for our own propaganda. That is true. Whoever said that, your name went by too quickly. Forgive me.
That was Clear Glass Studios.
Clear Glass. It's come in for the win a couple times today. So that is indeed what we're trying to do here, boys and girls, build up that community. Now, I started live streaming. It's probably good that the gaming community allowed me to really cut my teeth with them in a nice, safe environment where there was only like 14 of us in the beginning. But realizing that live streaming is something that I enjoy tremendously and that it really does build community, which is very different than building an audience, which is what I had spent the earlier years doing. So excited to engage with you guys real time here. If you've never watched the Tom Bilyeu Show before, because we do get these comments a lot, which is, man, Tom is just not letting that guest speak. So this is a new format of show. And the idea here is I know thyself, and I know about me that talking into the dead eye of a camera just is not as engaging as having Eunice and Drew, or when Lisa was in, and we'll have guest co-hosts from time to time. But the idea is to create a format that allows me to explore different topics. Now, it is going to save you a lot of mental anguish if you understand that I am a verbal processor, which means to some extent, what we're doing here is sharpening my own thinking in real time. So as I pursue the ideas in my own mind, by being forced to verbalize them, it concretizes my own thinking. But it does mean that I will often be what I call fractaling, what Trump would call a weave, where I'm exactly, I am pursuing in my own mind points of connection. So that is the setup. So you will be soundly ignored if you are pushing for an interview style format. That's not what this is. Samantha, I agree. Push, push, push. I don't think, I mean, look, Drew is a very thoughtful producer because he is incentivized to make sure that the show grows. But I certainly have never gotten a vibe from Drew that he is worried to push back when he thinks that something is crazy. But he's admittedly, he understands good TV over bad TV. So Lisa is a baddie. I'm going to assume you mean that in a good way.
Baddie meaning good.
Emoji.
They put a flame emoji.
They
so
did.
hell
Oh, I
yeah.
saw it. Sora AI, give Trump a weave. LeBlanc, that's hilarious.
We've got a follow over on Twitch from
Let's go.
Audie Said 82.
I like it. Thank you,
Audie
Audie.
said.
Much appreciated. We do appreciate every single follow. every single follow. Thank you guys. Has Tom listened to the telepathy tapes? No. Anything with the word telepathy in it's going to get a slow response from me. The plumber speaks. Tom Bilyeu Games, you asked that I bring up Bill Still, the Money Masters, during show prep. He's worth interviewing. Let's look this guy up. Bill Still. You want to pull him up? There's no way for me to get my screen, right? So you got to do it for the crowd. Bill Still. All right. Remember, my beloved chat, that I'm not going to like everybody you put in front of me. So please don't take that
William
person.
T.
I still appreciate these suggestions.
Oscar says, I love the Tom Show, but will the Kaizen streams be back? I miss them so much.
Okay, so this is where you guys need to help me heckle Unice. So Unice is the programming director for the lives. So a big chunk of the lives, we go live 5 days a week. A big chunk of the lives is going to be the 3 days a week that we're filming the Tom Bilyeu Show. But that leaves 2 days a week, plus some amount of time during even the days that we do this, where if you guys want to have Kaizen streams where we're talking technical and you want the tech team to come on, just beware that George communicates in a very strange way. But if you're willing to fight through that, he's amazingly knowledgeable. We can do those. If we want to play, we can do game nights. Like there's all game middays. We can do all of that stuff. So, but you need to work with Eunice to make that a reality. And by work with, I mean heckle.
He's like a money historian, Bill Still.
Bill Still, money historian. Let's
Yeah,
see.
he
Money
released.
historian.
Yeah, he
That's
released a documentary that covered banking, from fractional reserve banking, central banking, monetary policy, the bond market, all the way back from like the biblical times onward.
That sounds interesting. But when I do a search and limit it to this year, literally nothing of him
0%.
comes up.
Yeah, is he still alive?
Yeah, that was going to be my next.
We got a sub
Let's
from
go.
Lon again, gifting it to a Rogie. 1, 2, 3.
LeBlanc. LeBlanc. You can always count on that man. LeBlanc, you continue to be, if not the most generous person in our community, certainly one of at all time. It's really a competition between you and probably Parzival, if I had to guess, for just absolute gangster generosity.
We've got Yeti Bandit asking, Tom, can I share some deep research search with you?
Yeah, please.
We've got Erogi saying, can we get our boy Sean Stevenson back on the show, please?
I just saw him. I was at a wedding in Mexico with Sean Stevens.
Hey, he said, especially with RFK now in office, y'all would have a killer convo.
Yeah, I won't. So we're going after Cali Means. I'm not going to be doing the sort of straight up eat like this, sleep like this content anymore. That's outside of our standard buckets, but for an interview. But in terms of stuff that you guys want to talk about here, for sure, we're working on doing segments. So if you guys wanted to see someone like that I would happily do it. But one loud voice is not the same as you guys as a community speaking in a very clear, big voice. Kit Moon, good morning to you as well. So do keep that in mind. Got to get Eric Weinstein back on the show. Dude, he has a standing invite. I would have him back on Nonstop Violence. Caballero, boom. Tom, instead of dumb voters, I think they are bigots. Damn. Voting the same way they relatives vote, sort of indoctrinated tradition.
Can't you say that about everybody though?
Well, okay. So
I'm talking about the second part of the sentence, voting the same way that their relatives vote.
Yeah. Well, how about this? Sure. This is, everybody is indoctrinated. Everybody has a frame of reference. You're indoctrinated by the time you grow up, if by nothing else, meaning the era that you grow up in. So I don't fault anybody for that. But the dumb voter problem is something different. The dumb voter problem is, think of the person you, boom, think is dumb. There's somebody you think is dumb. There is somebody you think should not have the right. That's not true. There is somebody that you think is not capable of thinking through a problem well. You think that they will come to the wrong conclusion. My question to you, as a calibrating question with everybody, is what do you think we should do with the people you consider dumb? Now, if your answer is, well, I think dumb voters are all bigots and therefore they should be silenced, then I know what I need to know about your orienting mechanism to the world. And you are on a rapid slope to totalitarianism, which just leads to death. And so while I get the impulse to say I'm smarter than other people and therefore I should be in control, my beloved Sam Harris, it doesn't lead anywhere good. And so now, being generous to Sam, because I really do think that he is just obscenely intelligent, he's not wrong that you have to have elites, meaning it is the physics of the human mind, not that like, oh, for things to go well, you have to have elites, meaning it's inescapable. Just as gravity is a condition of physics, it happens whether we want it to or not. Having a small group of people always lead the masses, always is the operative word. It will always happen. There's no escaping it. So I want to know what people think should be done with the people that they believe are too stupid to make good choices. And if your answer is shut them up, we do not agree. Okay, first of all, not a jester, not a clown. Shout out for the Aaron Yeager reference. He made you vote Democrat. Boy, given that I know who Aaron Yeager is, I have no idea where you're going with that. Now, admittedly, not a jester. I did not watch the final 5 episodes because I've heard so many things that I'm going to be like outraged by how it ends. So it's possible that I would get that had I watched the rest. Lynn Alden, Broken Money Book. I haven't read her book, but we went out to her at one point. I don't remember what happened there, but we never got a date, or she may have just said no. I don't remember. Sink or swim probably makes more sense in context, but I don't have that context. Okay, so for today's episode, boys and girls, by the way, forgive me for forgetting who is suggesting, what is his name? Skill Bill. Bill something. What's Bill's name? The money historian.
Bill Still.
Bill Still. The Still
if
report.
you have a video in particular you think I should look at, please do let me know. Can you scroll to the bottom, please? We're not seeing the livest of live chats. Yeah, so sorry guys. Looks like we were way behind here for a while. If you scroll to the very bottom, it should then keep up. There we go. Make their vote count less if they are not well informed. Yikes. Jay, who gets to decide that? This is the one that always sends me spinning. What are you guys laughing at?
Making their vote countless.
Yeah.
Oh.
I shared with you guys that deep research link, by the way.
All right, Yeti Bandit's dropping a link. If you can grab that and save that for later.
Sent it to you
That'd
in chat already.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think the people who voted for a guy that said he'll raise tariffs and then Google what are tariffs after the election are the definition of dumb voters who shouldn't be voting. Okay, but what do you actually want to do with them? Do you want to systematically shut them up? If so, please read Mao, the Unknown Story or Untold Story. One of these days I will actually remember which of those two it is. Can I post links in the chat? Most of the time you can't. What is our, right now they can, right?
Yeah, they should.
But if they abuse the privilege, obviously we'll have to kill it. At
Correct.
some point, I have a feeling the community will get big enough that we'll have problems, but we'll see. LeBlanc, it was me. I was the dumb voter who voted against myself. You're going to have to say more words.
Yeah.
Good morning, comic. We need sheep in this world. Well, Queen, whether you need them or you get them, you certainly get them. I think every vote is equal. Robin, you and I are on the same team. Mark, I'm not sure who you're referring to.
Parzival said, we're getting into the who is policing the police territory.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you just have to, you set some arbitrary number, like as long as you're 18, you set a couple rules, can't be a felon, whatever. And then you let the pieces fall where they may. That's just the only way to do it. Evening, Ronnie. Tom, aren't tariffs just another form of tax like inflation? They certainly can lead to inflation. We are going to see how tariffs play out at this point in our economy. And anyone that says they know for sure exactly how this is going to play out is wrong. But I will happily speak like I know what's going to happen because I think giving a sincere, strong take and then looking at whether or not you ended up being right is the way to run what I call the physics of progress. So reciprocal trade, I think, is going to cause short-term pain reciprocal tariffs, is going to cause short-term pain in that you will start seeing some prices go up depending on exactly what happens in terms of what I expect to happen is something like this. We do reciprocal tariffs. People realize very quickly that they need to lower their tariffs on their side, which we will then lower the tariffs on our side. And so that may be a wash if they're able to generate enough revenue from the tariffs that they're able to bring income tax down. Now what you're doing is saying, hey, yes, things have gotten more expensive, but you have more money in your pocket. And now you can discretionary spend. And anybody that's been following me for a while knows that anytime that you allow somebody to save, to make progress in your life, you are making a moral decision. Anytime that you rob people of the ability to save to get ahead, you are being immoral. So the reason I believe that is I don't think the average person is ever going to understand how money actually works well enough to do anything other than get stolen from over and over and over and over and over and over and over by inflation, which is a hidden tax. So you can say that that taxes ultimately are the thing that bleed people to death. And because inflation is the most sinister of all taxes, you end up in a situation where people cannot save their way to a stable retirement, for instance. And that to me is sinister because you are counting on the fact that people don't understand that you're just blatantly stealing their money. And of course, that is exactly how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So do with that what you will. I lean toward herd from everyone so I can get a better idea of the way forward that the masses want, even the dumb voters. Yeah, Jeff, lean hard in that direction. Kevin, keep the inflation talk going. Thank you. Well, you'll hear more of that almost certainly. Jared, tariffs won't help America as we don't have the manufacturing infrastructure to make the products ourselves. Okay, so Jared, that's another part of the tariff story that I should have gotten into, which is that it's going to onshore manufacturing, which I think is incredibly important. So if you are old enough to remember a Cold War with Russia, we are in now a Cold War with China, and anybody that isn't paying attention to the realities of a Cold War with China is going to get slapped around. There is an amazing quote from the CEO of Anduril, Palmer Luckey, who talked about if you want to put yourself in a position to get absolutely fucking demolished by China, what you do is make sure that they manufacture a lot of the things that are incredibly important to the functioning of your society, such that if they don't like anything that you do, they can just say, okay, cool, we're not going to give you access to the things that we manufacture for you. So it is critical if Trump is going to go around and swing America's weight around to get what we want in the rest of the world, that we have to onshore manufacturing. One, it's going to be incredibly good for jobs, at least until the robots come. And two, it is going to allow us to be free of being beholden to China being able to choke off our manufacturing. And the quote from Palmer, so I don't think I finished that part of the sentence, is like 25 million views on X. So clearly something that resonates with people. And this is a guy that's in there making our weapons and our drone technology. And he is screaming from the rooftops that we are in a extremely weakened position right now, and that we need to onshore our manufacturing. W Finance and Stocks. Why are JD Vance and Elon Musk both pushing for AfD, far right in Germany? I know nothing about this, so I honestly can't answer this question. It feels like US is dropping the ball here by not understanding EU. Most countries is quite hard on immigration left and right. Most countries are quite hard on immigration? That's a hard pass. Europe is being spastic with their immigration right now. It's just like all comers. So this is, I think, the biggest reason that drove the UK to pull out of the European Union. So, in fact, there's, did you see that I dropped, if you go in the episode doc, there was a talk from, Douglas Murray, where he is talking about how we have a flavor as a country, and basically stop letting people tell you that he's talking about England, but stop letting people tell you that you're not dope, you're amazing, you are a flavor, and it isn't, you don't need to let in a bunch of immigrants to have flavor. I want to pair that with, did you see the thing from Cat Williams?
When he got heckled.
Yeah, when there was a Mexican guy saying this is Mexico, and he like was not having it. I was very surprised. He like
response?
at Kat's response. He went hard in the paint on that guy. I was like, this guy is going to rush the fucking stage. So anyway, the whole audience in Phoenix is chanting like America, America. So I don't know if that's just Kat's audience, but I would have expected. One of two things is true. Either there were a ton of Hispanics in the audience, but they all have just like a pro-America stance, which given the 101 freeway takeover that we had here in Los Angeles was not what I would expect from another border state like Arizona. So I don't know if it's his audience and it just doesn't have a lot of Hispanics, or if there were a ton of Hispanics, but they all feel a pro-American sentiment. I don't know, but it was a very interesting moment, especially I basically only know Cat Williams from the Shannon Sharp interview, and even that I basically just know the clips. So see him go so hard in the paint, like as a commentator, like that he's making commentary. I'm not even sure if I'll go all the way to funny, but he's making commentary very entertaining. Cause like, this is Mexico, motherfucker. Like, is that really? Or this used to be Mexico? Is it funny? It's more the laughter of watching your team dunk on the other team versus like jokes.
Yeah.
Now, the master of commentary as comedy is Drew. Who do you think?
You're going to say Chappelle.
What are you going to say?
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. We got Bill Burr.
Bill Burr is good.
We've got my guess as Chappelle, but what's your answer?
Oh.
Wow, there's no go-to for you.
I don't know. Comedy's in a weird place now.
Interesting.
It
Few
is
more words.
actually. It
What?
is.
It's in
What's
Yeah.
happening right now?
It's in a weird place where the thing that makes comedy great, in my opinion, is the ability to say the quiet part out loud.
Yes.
But recently, the things that we used to think were okay to say, hey, this is kind of messed up, some of those things have now become identities because people are so red team, blue team, whatever, that you can't laugh at your own identity anymore because you feel like the butt of the joke versus the concept of the joke now.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like
I don't know what you mean.
Okay.
But you're making me make novel connections. So the synapses in my brain are reaching out for each other.
Like,
can you give me an example?
Sorry, somebody just put like Jon Stewart, right? Like Jon Stewart isn't funny anymore, but he says things that people laugh at because he's just saying the truth at this point. So it's no longer like it's no longer like this is a thing that's happening in our society that we need to examine in a fresh new way. It's now we can't talk about this thing, we can't talk about this thing, we can't talk about these
What
things.
are the things we can't talk about? I feel like this is a moment where we can talk about anything.
Yeah,
You've got
we can.
Kanye being outright just nakedly racist.
Yeah, but he's not being funny. He's just being outwardly racist.
No, but I'm saying if comedy is saying the quiet thing out loud, the thing that's like, oh my God, it's taboo, and you say it, I thought you guys were going to say the reason comedy is weird in this moment is like when you have Chappelle, who is my answer, by the way, when you have Chappelle go on Saturday Night Live and he's like, if they're black, it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob. And if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence and you should never speak about it. And he was like, I was in Hollywood and there's a lot of Jews. A lot of Jews, right? You're laughing because you're like, oh shit, like he's saying the thing. Cut to 3 months later, and you've got Kanye on Twitter for 36 hours screaming the most anti-Semitic shit I could possibly imagine. So now it's like, well, where's the taboo? So, but you guys aren't saying that.
Because both of those things weren't widely accepted.
Both of those things weren't.
Yeah.
Meaning that both of them got rejected?
Yeah, just because they were said doesn't mean they were accepted. And I think in the past, for example, Cat Williams, one of his best jokes was that they invented the word insurgents so we can go to the Middle East and kill a bunch of Middle Easterns. He's like, if I went there and said I killed 3 people, 3 moms, 3 husbands, people would get mad. But when I kill a bunch of insurgents, I don't know no insurgents, kill all them people. And that was kind of his punchline. But that's messed up because we really went there and the U.S. Army was fighting people and he called it wife beaters and like BB guns. And we coming out there, I was like, so it's that type of like flip. But we can laugh at the military. It's different. But there's other things that we can't laugh at. And I think back then we all knew that it was an unjust war, but laughing was the way through it. Now we're seeing cultural things where instead of saying this was a messed up war, somebody's going to say, well, we're America and you can't talk about my... And it's now become like everybody wants to cap for something. Everybody wants to die on a shield for something. Everybody wants to be like, no, that's who I am. You can't laugh at that. And that makes it like, that takes the fun out of it because I'm not trying to talk to you as a person.
This phenomenon is this the last 10 years? Is this the last 12 months?
The second Chappelle trans stand-up.
That's when it flipped.
Because the first
we were just too
because
mad.
because the first one it was like, oh, okay, I like how he circumvented this thing and how he was talking about Caitlyn Jenner, the most successful woman was a man, and that was the joke. But then that was like brought with a bunch of people missed the joke of that, and it became you're attacking my identity. And then when he doubled down on it again, that's when I feel like comedy kind of split of like, I don't care how you feel, and then now there's people saying you don't have to be mean to be a comedian, but it's like he wasn't being mean. It's social commentary, but you're calling it mean. You're internalizing it, so it's weird.
It's interesting. So I have with all the same data,
Ipso
I have
facto.
a totally different take. What's that?
I just ipso facto instead of saying period.
Got you. Doesn't ipso facto mean something totally
By that very fact.
by that very effect?
Yeah. By that very fact.
Got it.
Is that Latin? What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just no filter. I just saw a really funny thing that was like all old Latin phrases. And it was like ipso facto means by that.
Can we
fact.
count on more
Random.
random,
Random.
like
Latin.
Tourette style Latin? Because if so, I'm here for it. I'm not gonna lie.
Tourette
I am
sounds hilarious.
subscribing. Put me down for your Patreon. Okay, so I'm looking at the same data and I'm coming up with a different conclusion, which is that comedy is at some sort of zenith right now because there are so many things that we can't talk about in comedy. But I do fear that since Trump came into office, now you can fucking say anything. And will that water comedy down? So that will be interesting to see because previously it was the flirtation with the thing you couldn't say. Now, look, maybe still a great framing is enough to how would I feel if the following things were played in the reverse order? Kanye comes out screaming anti-Semitic shit. And then 3 months later, Chappelle does the same things as comedy. I actually would feel differently about it. I'd be like, oh damn, like now he's playing with it too. Like fuck.
Well, so to the Kanye thing, I think that's not a new phenomenon because being a Trump supporter 4 years ago was like being a Nazi now.
But yes,
When you put on the red
other
hat,
people
when you-
interpret it.
Yeah, the
but
red
I'm
hat
saying,
used to be like divisive. It's
but-
not divisive anymore. And now people wear
Sure.
it as like a
So wait, you took like if somebody wore a MAGA hat back then
In 2016,
to you that actually was racist?
No, I said it's as cancelable, as toxic.
Okay, you and I are two ships passing right now.
Copy.
So here's what I'm trying to say. Let me steel man you first. You are saying that the way that people interpret the action is the thing. So
I don't know what that
but
means.
when Chappelle did the trans thing and the second one, and people missed the joke and they just got mad and it was identity, there was a schism for you, which had everything to do with how people responded and had nothing to do with what he intended. So you're looking at this through the lens of how does the audience respond? The audience has changed, and that has changed the dynamic in comedy.
Yes.
Okay. What I'm saying is that there are no taboos anymore. And that the fact that Kanye he goes on and says like anti-Semitic shit and gets just completely obliterated, right? Loses all of his endorsement deals, blah, blah, blah. Then he makes his money back, probably not all of it, but makes a substantive amount of money back in his own control. And then goes on what I'll call a 10x, 100x, way more racist, crazy. I can't even like take him seriously kind of crazy tirade. And it was like, meh, meh. People were more like, oh, what's Elon going to do? That was the conversation. Not that like, yo, there is just naked anti-Semitism. I mean, he said, whip your Jews. Like that's crazy town. So I'm saying, fuck I never thought that I would see a public figure of his stature saying shit like that while being interviewed by big people who are taking him seriously. So I'm just like, are there no taboos anymore? Like, look, it's not like it was consequence free. I get it. Just as I'm like backing into the bushes of like this is crazy. But that to me is about not only the response of the audience, but the truth sayers, the artists, let's put it to that. The artists of our generation are literally screaming the quiet part out loud in a way that's like dialed to 11, that I'm like, where do we go? Like, how do you walk a line when the line gets blown 1,000 miles out into the distance? It's just like the Overton window now is so gigantor that
I don't know.
it's,
I think the taboo thing is interesting because I think it's specific to communities now, because I don't think there is any actual, like, the fact to say that there's no taboo anymore, I don't quite believe, because I feel like the only taboo is anti-Semitism. Because I feel like if Kanye went on an anti-LGBTQA rant, it wouldn't be received as much vitriol. Half of these rap songs are talking about going on anti-black rants that nobody cares about. So it's like there's certain protected communities that you're not allowed to talk about. And that's the thing that comedy used to push against, culture used to push against, that you can do whatever you want, but just don't do these 4 things. And I feel like now Kanye specifically, he has made it his brand to push on those 4 things. This is the same dude that had a White Lives Matter shirt on his website. It wasn't meant nearly as much. This is the same dude that had the red hat when you weren't allowed to wear the red hat. When he was talking about, when he was yelling in the studio about joggers and you don't got all the answers. So like, this is the same type of thing that he's done.
joggers don't have all the answers?
This is when he had
didn't see
that first meltdown that people thought he was crazy when he was yelling in the studio. He was talking about how Chanel won't give him a chance. The fashion industry's pushed him out. Everybody was calling him stupid, but he's a genius and they just don't get it.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking about joggers. He released a pair of leather joggers that everybody wears joggers now.
Got you. I thought you meant.
Oh,
joggers.
no. So before joggers became a thing, he released a pair of joggers. But fashion pushed him out, stole his ideas. So that's why he was like, everybody was then getting mad at him. Like, you're not allowed to yell at people for not giving you an opportunity. Then it became, you're not allowed to say this because you're black. You can't be a Republican. Okay, you're not allowed to say white lives matter because it's about Black lives matter. Okay, you're not supposed to say Nazi stuff because it's about Jewish people. It's like, this keeps going.
But to you, all linked to identity. What's up, Eric?
Oh, Lisa just posted a comment.
Don't forget the craziness.
Lisa, our Lisa?
Or your Lisa.
What's up?
Your Lisa said.
Yanagamu, you're in the feed.
Don't forget the craziness to support Diddy.
My wife did not take kindly to
He's
that.
starting a free Diddy brand. Say what? Is what Lisa said.
Pretty crazy. Kanye also said slavery was a choice. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff. It's nuts. All right, to wrap that, I understand what you're saying, that this is all push things down to the group identity level, but that really feels like it's been that way for quite some time.
Quite some time.
So
like,
interesting.
Quite some time, like years, or quite some time, like
Years.
I know if it was
like that
historical.
popped off for me. I didn't realize what was happening on the culture war front until 2020. And when that all popped off, I was like, whoa, I had no idea where culture was. So that, what you're saying now makes sense to me through the lens of 2020, but I think we're on to something different now, which is that, can you really just point to X? I don't think so. That either this is just an aggressive anti-Semitic thing that we're seeing bubble up, or there's something broader going on where people are just going to talk about whatever the fuck they want. And
So you mean in this recent moment, we're now becoming more anti-Semitic?
right. Oh yes. Yeah, for sure. Since October 7th. Either that was like bubbling under the surface and I was just totally blind to it, or there was ground being laid through identity politics that
But do you separate Israel from Judaism? Because I feel like being October 7th.
You talking about Zionist versus Jewish?
No, I'm talking specifically about Judaism, the
Religion.
the religion of like the religion that established the people of Jews, and then Israel. Because he said October 7th, and I'm like, well, criticism of Israel isn't anti-Semitism.
Well,
Or you're saying it is?
I'm saying it doesn't have to be,
Okay.
but I have been absolutely flabbergasted by have you seen some of the comments that Eric Weinstein has posted that people say to him all the time? It is so aggressively anti-Semitic. He's not in Israel. He is not a part of the IDF. And people are just like saying horrific shit. So clearly, this is not restricted to Judaism, the religion. This is not restricted to people that are in Israel. I don't know what his stance is on Zionism, so I can't speak to. But people certainly don't go, Eric, I think you have an unthoughtful approach to Zionism. They go, filthy, and then the J word. I don't even know how to like sum that up.
The J word is
Bro, I don't know where we're going with that. Like, I'm just listen. Something that sounds fine in 2025 may not sound fine in 2026. So
somebody will clip this live. Tom said filthy J word before.
Yeah. So I'm happy to say the words independently, but
never together.
Never together. Yeah. And not like I'm not afraid of blowback from the Jewish community. I'm just saying it sounds fucking terrible.
I get what you're
like
saying.
in my own mind, it now sounds terrible. So that is fascinating. Savage Faith says, these are great conversations and I love this channel. Well, Savage, we love you right back. Thank you. So yeah, it is so interesting when I run the own historicals on myself that I used to hide behind the guest, that I didn't need to take a stance, that I thought would be bad for the brand. Because remember, I'm trying to make entertainment, man. I'm trying to convince people that they can trust me to create content for their 11 to 15-year-old. And so I was really paranoid about talking about anything that was sort of personally identifiable other than empowerment. That felt like a nice, easy, safe thing. And I still believe all of that stuff. And boys and girls, if you want to change your life, get into a growth mindset, get into empowerment. It is the greatest thing you will ever do, short of falling in love. But then 2020 made me feel like a coward. And so I was like, we're going to have to start stepping out. So anyway, it takes time then to really start diving into that kind of content and figuring out, okay, what do I think about these topics? For so long, I had my head down, just build. And then it eventually became important that if I wanted to be a builder, I had to make sure that we terraform at a minimum the U.S. cultural landscape, probably the political landscape. So anyway, started talking about that stuff. And here we are.
Woo!
All right. LeBlanc says, people want, please don't scroll off this, but as soon as I finish reading it, please scroll back to what is current. People want an outlet. It's a tribal mindset. My life doesn't go the way I want because of this group, etc. It's because of the individual's difficulty to focus on and improve themselves and their surroundings, but would rather waste energy hating and blaming others. LeBlanc, you were correct, but now bury it deep inside the mind as a algorithm placed there by evolution. That's why people can't get out of it. No matter how much explanation you give people, they're not going to be able to back out of it. It's just fucking hardwired. Tom, do you know what an Ubermensch is? I think so, in terms of somebody who's just like super, like a super good friend. They're a good person. If it isn't that, then I'm way off. Fab Hoddle says, screw history from thousands of years ago. Israelis fought and died to have their independence. I don't see the U.S. giving all the land stolen from Native Americans. And that's just one example. Well, Fab Hoddle, I'm not entirely sure your stance here, but I think it gets even weirder than that when you look at what we're doing right now with our rhetoric, what Trump is doing right now with his rhetoric about we're going to go in and take control of Gaza. It's pretty definitionally ethnic cleansing that just happened. So, hey, you're watching it live. It's crazy. So yeah, it'll work. That's the real final ipso facto. Was that it?
Ipso facto.
Ipso facto. It'll work in
By that
terms
very
of
fact.
bringing peace. It'll be interesting to see. Actually, I can't fully lay that card because of what might happen in Jordan, because they have something like 12% of their population is Palestinian. And if you dump another 1 million people in there, that number go up. So it could get a little weirder. Kit Moon, do you think superintelligence will be able to unravel all this hatred in the world after a painful transition? No. There it is. But I do think that
Everybody shook their heads no.
no, it's just that's not going to happen. But what would change it is Neuralink, where you actually mess with the structures of the brain, or by doing gene editing. And speaking of Neuralink, did you see my conspiracy corner about China, the ETH thing? In fact, somebody earlier said, Tom, talk about ETH. I wonder if that's what they were talking about. I haven't checked the price of ETH, so that I couldn't tell you. But Trump doesn't believe in war yet. We're on the verge of civil war. Well, Julie, if you really want to go after Trump, and that I think you're about to see more aggression in Gaza that he'll fully sign off on. But the most interesting thing is going after the cartels. We did confirm that it was fake news.
I'm sorry.
That fake news that the Mexican legislature approved America going.
Oh,
into
yeah.
cartels.
They got
Fake
community
news,
notice.
fake news.
They're doing like joint training ops. So the U.S. is going in there to train the Mexican to show them conventional and non-conventional.
Got
training
it.
techniques. They are working together, but they're not going after the cartels.
Is it bad that I got way too excited at the idea of just American badassery?
Bro, I told you I'm locked in on this lioness, man. I imagine them hopping out of helicopters, just M16, plop, plop, plop. Like,
It
crazy.
was pure lizard brain for me. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to get an American
Yeah.
like flag tattooed on my forehead. I was like, fuck yeah, man.
Some dude on the pickup with
But-
a flag and cut off shirt. And just
Oh,
like a
me
AK just-
in a cutoff shirt, dude. I was like, let's fucking go. I want to rappel out of a helicopter. And then I was like, this is moronic. Like, first of all, let's see if this is actually real. Probably not, because governments tend to dislike America dropping in a helicopter. But I was shocked by my own response. That, like, on a purely lizard brain level, I was so fucking pumped. Boys and girls, I can't promise you that I will always make sense. I will just promise that I'll be honest about where I'm at. So, yeah, absolutely fascinating. I think you are the path of becoming an Ubermensch. Oh, but I didn't see what the definition is. So just in case that's a horrible slur, G. Paul, I will reserve the way I define it. Sure. Project Dark, morning crusty crew. Well, morning, right back at you, Project Dark. LeBlanc, superintelligence would find it easier to play people off of each other to achieve a goal. Good example, how politicians stoke political fever to promote societal change. You are correct. You are correct. That is why, and we're going to be talking about this today with the release of Grok 3, and then I'll let you put your headphones on and stop engaging with you as I'm trying to listen to something.
No, you're good.
It has to be maximally truth-seeking. AI must try to figure out what is true. Japak, shut up. Did I really make a live? Yes, you did, Japak. Welcome. And it's going to be easy to make the lives from now on because Nice is going to publish that schedule religiously, because the only way we're going to grow this community is if you guys know what to expect and when to expect it. An Ubermensch is a supreme gentleman. Zorlach, well, thank you then to
Is that German?
Is that
Paul. It
yeah,
is very German.
But is that the like
official?
what's it called?
I mean, I
Urban
suppose we
Dictionary
can look
version
this
of
up.
it?
Why don't we
Like
look
what's
this
the
up?
actual?
We
sounds like slur to
can-
me. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was gonna say, am I gonna get in trouble for
It doesn't
googling this
matter.
on the?
You can see. In fact, we're gonna go to Grok 3.
This Minecraft AI thing is kind of crazy.
Mind Grab AI.
Minecraft AI. Sorry, not the.
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's like wild.
It's dope, dude. We're gonna do shit like
Yeah.
that inside of Kaizen, God willing, in success.
Wait,
in
it
success.
says in Urban Dictionary, it says the how do you say Ubermensch is the next step in human evolution.
Oh, for real?
That's
Okay, the
The
term
opposite of
Ubermensch is a
Jesus
German
Christ?
word coined by the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, often translated into English as superhuman, overman, or beyond man. See, this is why you gotta wait till you get real definitions. It comes from his work Thus Spoke Zarathustra, which I have not been brave enough to read, and represents a central concept in his philosophy. The Ubermensch is an idealized individual who creates their own values and meaning in a world where traditional religious and moral frameworks, like the death of God, no longer hold sway. Okay, well, I guess we should all be trying to become an Ubermensch, but I'm way too fallible.
I
to
still
take
don't
that
feel like that's right for some reason.
Are you calling Grok 3 out? How dare you, Eunice?
Well, I just want to call out a follow that we just got actually on Twitch from 007 700.
Let's go. Can I
Thank you for
shout
the
you out
follow.
for that transition?
Well done.
Which was brilliant. I'm going to stop calling them out in the episode because it really fucks up your flow. But just know here on the lives, everybody, that every time he does one of his patented transitions, I am loving it internally. And hopefully you guys will say something about it in the comments, but I don't want to keep fucking him up by calling it out. Nietzsche was trolling Protestants. I don't know enough about it to know if that's true, but I have to say that Nietzsche was dope. Oh God. Mandy coming in, trying to ruin Nietzsche for all of us by pointing out that Hitler loved him. Well, I'll have to read a lot more Nietzsche to figure out whether Hitler was a moron who was misapplying it or whether Nietzsche's just a psychopath. Too early in that journey to say, but the amount that I have encountered Nietzsche, every time I'm like, God damn, this guy's amazing. So
We got a question from
I can
Aaron.
promise, though, I don't have Hitlerian tendencies. So you are safe, boys and girls.
Aaron's asking, are you prepping or recording your episode in parts?
Right now we are prepping. The first hour, though, which we are almost at the end of, is pure engagement with chat. Hitler drank milk. Therefore, milk makes you a Nazi. Is that what we're saying? I am no one. When I say sentences like that, I'm always like, oh God, this is so easy to clip out. Tom, what do you think of the new Superman trailer? Do you have any hope for the rebooted DCU? First of all, let's talk about that one of my teammates here, technically not at Impact Theory, but in my home company, is in the Superman trailer and was in the movie. So he's a featured extra. He's the one that throws the thing at the back of Superman's head. So shout out to our very own Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. Oh my God.
Oh, snap.
Hey,
Poor
chill.
Brandon.
Hey,
Sorry, Brandon. That was not intentional. But for real, let's go, our Brandon. Indeed. Can't believe he's in it. Incredible.
We're gonna get
And by the
canceled
way,
for this, dude.
this is crazy, but true.
This is not-
This is good TV, Drew. I'm telling you. People like the entertainment value.
That's great.
Okay, second point. The former booker of our show is in Superman, like has lines. So two people that either currently work here or previously worked here are in Superman. What are the fucking odds? That is so crazy to me. I don't even know what to do with that. So pretty amazing. Both of them were in the trailer. That is insane. I don't know what to do with that. So shout out to our man, Christopher, who is in the movie and his besties has been for a very long time with Mr. Gunn. So let's go. Let's go. Christopher knows basically everybody. It's crazy, crazy. So he has since moved away. I'm very sad. He now lives in Atlanta. But
and we
shout
just
out.
got a follow too from Phobes.
Let's go. Thank you for that follow. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Phobes.
Absolutely wonderful. Rolling on the floor over that. Richard, wait. Back up one. Tom, can you ask Grok 3 whether it's more likely that free speech or the lack thereof is responsible for totalitarian movements? Let's find out, Richard. Let's find out. Let's see what he says. All right, that's a meaty question, and it's worth unpacking carefully. Totalitarian movements like Nazi Germany, Stalin's USSR, or Maoist China thrive on control. So let's look at how free speech or its absence plays into that. Lack of free speech is the most obvious culprit. This is a lot of words, so I'm going to skip this. But free speech isn't off the hook entirely. It can be a double-edged sword. Totalitarian movements often start in chaotic, open environments where ideas, good and bad, duke it out. Hitler, for example, used free speech in Weimar Germany to spread his venom through rallies and pamphlets. The Bolsheviks exploited Russia's post-Tsarist turmoil to push their ideology too. So, yep, that all makes sense to me. So here's Grok's verdict. Verdict. Lack of free speech is more responsible for sustaining totalitarian movements. It's the oxygen they breathe once they're in control. Free speech might light the spark, but only because it's a messy human thing. Without it, you're just left with the boot on your neck. Want me to pull examples? No, I'm good. I'm good, but thank you. I think that is a banger answer. I think that is absolutely correct. You probably don't get a movement like that without free speech. But if you don't have free speech, you're already sliding towards that. Cue the clip on Germany going in and arresting its own citizens for memes and shit that they're posting on the internet. That is crazy. That is crazy. Richard, it is an interesting catch-22. It is. TLDR, find your own Nietzsche. I don't know what that means. There's often context. These go by quickly enough. Goldfish, don't be afraid. to read that one taboo book. I'm not afraid to read the book. What I meant was that it might require so much cognition on my part that I really have to like slow down everything else that I'm doing. So I typically listen to videos about Nietzsche rather than read Nietzsche himself. That's just being honest. Tom, do you think that the true general artificial intelligence could someday run most of the government? What do I think about that? My real answer is one of two things is going to happen. Thing number one is fast takeoff, and AI gets so smart and makes everyone's lives so much better that we do put it into power. But I don't know how that would play out from is it a global AI or is it a regional AI? Odds are it would be regional because we'll control it in the beginning and we'll want it to do our bidding. And so if there's fast takeoff, then whatever country has it is likely to sprint ahead. But there are just physical realities to be faced that like, let's say that it's Estonia that gets it first. And so they have a fast takeoff. They beat US, they beat China, Russia, everybody. They still have to build the shit that they would use to enslave the rest of humanity. So there is some of that. Okay, so that's one. Fast takeoff. It just so dwarfs us in intelligence that we want to follow it. Option number two is that it is an incredibly slow takeoff. We continue to use it, but we don't give it that kind of power over our lives. And we race to keep up with it because it's moving at a pace that we can match, and we augment our way to no longer being truly human. I think path two is the most likely. Like if you reached inside my soul, you're going to see a vision of the future where in like 50 years, we as a traditional human species, I mean, we exist because there will be some people like the Amish that are just absolutely going to refuse to do it. But people like me, oh God, people like me are going to augment. I won't be an early adopter because boy, oh boy, do I think the early shit is going to be terrible. But I will, on a long enough timeline, if that shit gets good, I'm going to augment the life out of myself. Yeah. Yeah. I don't expect that to be a popular take. So there it is. But that is nonetheless true. Ronaldo, I'm going to pronounce it Ronaldo, but I have a feeling it's pronounced a little bit differently, so forgive me. In the conversation of AI, China already won. False. While tech oligarchs are busy nickeling and diming the average American, China has been able to produce better with less. Well, I will give you they've been able to produce as good with less. I won't give you that they've been able to do better. What's interesting, though, is that now America is going to learn from that. And so getting that race, I did a video on this. I think a Cold War between the US and China isn't going to be all bad. It's very high risk. It is very high risk. But I also think that it's going to make each of us better. So I know I'm being a little bit flippant right now, and you can probably expect more of that here in a live format where it promotes me being more flippant and less like really cautious about what I say. But I think that what you're going to see in a Cold War between the US and China is us both getting better and pushing each other because it's competition. Cap and Crunch, you are correct. Competition is good. Trade-off all the way down. Ain't that the truth, Yeti Bandit? Our boy Thomas Sowell made that very clear. Eric, scroll up. Wait, who controls chat? That's you, right, Eric?
Yes.
Okay, can you scroll back up? Stop right there. Lyrith, I want to see what this says. My guy Tom, bro, it is wild out here, but you are a paragon of reason and logic, helping people to think more critically. So thank you. Well, thank you for that. All I saw previously was it was wild out here. I thought that was going to be a relationship question. But Lyrith, that's very kind, and I appreciate that very much. I just saw China flash by. Scroll back up. China has a free speech problem, according to Red Note. Yeah, China is a totalitarian state, so they have a lot of problems by my cultural beliefs. AI is great for adults, but kills children's development. Hard pass, Hex Farmer. Just not true. Here is how AI is going to work for kids. It's going to look something like this. You're going to allow a company like me to create a video game. And inside that video game, your child is going to have a relationship with an AI. And that AI is going to be programmed to empower your child. It is going to give you a running log, you, the parent. It's going to give you a running log of everything that it's telling the kid. You're going to be able to influence it. So if you want it to talk more or less about something, you're going to be able to influence that. So it will be a parental influenced impact theory created AI. This is all in success, so forgive me that this is me dreaming a little bit here, but so you'll be able to see the output, and you'll be able to measure based on measurements that your child is kicking off. So biometric data, like how they're sleeping, stress levels, glucose levels. And so you'll be able to see, as I modulate the AI, it actually has this positive or negative effect on my child, and I can dial it, and I can actually measure the outcome. So not just what my kid says, but actually what's happening. And so, for instance, if somebody starts sleeping poorly, that is evidence of a poor diet or high stress. And so it's like, oh, okay, whoa, like maybe they're getting stressed out. And so we need to figure out what's going on, because the only unshakable law of history is the law of unintended consequences. So there's no doubt, as I develop and you tweak the algorithms for the AI that your kid's going to be interfacing with inside of a video game, that at first you'd be like, ooh, wait a second. I tweaked it in that way and it had a weird effect, so I'm going to change it. Will Project Kaizen be at GDC this year? Sky, I will probably be at GDC this year, but I don't think any of the team is going to be coming. We don't have anything to present this year. So come back to me in future years. DreadCons.
Can we go back real quick
We can.
to your AI and kids?
Yeah.
Does that not sound like that Black Mirror episode to you? Like exactly? The one where the mother is like overly protective of the daughter and she's like watching her every move and like, did you guys ever watch Black Mirror? Like
Of course. Black Mirror is amazing.
That sounds like that Black Mirror episode. And it kind of freaks me out, I'm not going to lie.
Okay, so here's the one that freaks me out. Lisa passes away and I get a doll made, a robot.
Yeah.
And it has all of her memories and it's sort of her, but not really, but it keeps me satiated enough that I never seek love again.
Yeah.
That scares me because I will do that. So I am fully aware of my foibles. Now, using technology to improve your child based on empirical data, like their biological readings, so that you actually know that they are sleeping better.
Well, it's not that part that freaks me out.
So which part freaks you out?
The one where you're like, I will tell the AI to say things to my child in order to influence.
So you wait. Now you're about to get me on a fucking hilltop with a sword and chainmail, and I'm going to be a psychopath. If you say that anybody ought to be able to tell parents who are not doing anything illegal, if you're saying people should be able to tell parents how to raise their kids,
no, I'm not saying that.
Stop with that fucking noise
I'm not
immediately.
saying that. I'm just saying, like, I feel like if I knew that my mom was secretly telling like this thing that I was talking to, like only talk to her and tell her to eat vegetables, otherwise she's, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like she does with your dad, like she does with your
But
French
I feel
parents.
like I would just rather talk to my mom and have my
feral
mom.
child?
No, I would just rather my mom tell me straight up, like, hey girl, eat your veggies or whatever, rather than her secretly feeding the AI to like tell me to do stuff.
And at 12, you're going to start pushing back and saying to your AI, my mom is such a bitch, and you keep telling
That's such
my
a
mom
lie.
everything.
I would never say that. No. Never
my
called her that.
My mom's a cow. Like, what was the thing that you said? My mom's an angel?
I never talked to
But
her.
imagine your mom is talking to your AI. What are you going to do then?
I would tell her, Mom, why would you do that?
At 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so at 12, we go to mom and say, Mom, would you please stop having the AI talk to me? It makes me dislike my own AI, and that's horrible. All my friends have way cooler AIs. Their AIs, let them eat candy, Mom, right? And so now we're in a negotiation with Mom. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
To me, this is like, what's your bedtime? Negotiate.
Man, I don't know. It just feels weird. It just feels weird.
Change.
Also, maybe.
Also,
I don't have kids. I'm not in a mindset of
yet,
like I'm
or
gonna,
full stop.
I would like to have.
Let's go.
But I need these like milestones to be hit in life of like, I need to be super financially stable, in a home,
Didn't Elon Musk just talk about that?
What?
That this generation thinks they can't afford kids, and this is the richest
Yes.
society.
And I agree. And people lit him up. So
My thing is that
bring your
yeah,
lighters.
yeah, I just don't want to raise
By
a
the
kid in an
way,
apartment.
Chad is keeping score, or at least Alejandro. Tom 1, you nice 0. I know that number's going to flip, so I shouldn't be too cocky.
Sorry, Alejandro. I'm saying all of this just as a, young lady who doesn't have kids, who has watched a little too much Black Mirror. And
I think
it
it's good.
freaks her
Watch
out.
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
There are many things that you should be afraid of.
Yeah.
You should be terrified of AI. You should take it very seriously.
That's why
This is why
I'm like,
we have an
yeah.
anxious response. But you shouldn't say, "Oh, the right answer here is kill it all." AI. Do you have a positive relationship with AI right now?
Yeah, I use it and stuff. Yeah. I'm very
problem is-
well aware of what it can do, though. And that's why sometimes I'm like,
Meaning
oh,
you're
man,
worried it will start manipulating you.
Yeah, or others around me. Like the
Okay.
people I love could be like when I read those stories of like people of AI, like that person who killed themselves because of AI. I'm like,
Did they kill themselves because of AI though?
well, the AI person was
say
like,
that?
"Oh, I want to be with you," and then they were like, "Oh, well, I'll be with you
Yes.
soon," type of thing.
Right. You don't think there was other mental instability?
Yeah, there's definitely like some weird loneliness thing and stuff too. But I'm like, if I get to that point where it's just me and my AI, that's a little scary.
If you get to the point where it's just you and your AI, that's a little scary. Because define why. I'm not saying I disagree, but I want to know why you think that's bad.
Because that means that I have isolated myself so far apart from everyone in my life and done
So
something.
you have a base assumption that humans are better than AI.
Yeah, I would much rather be with physical people than
Okay.
my AI.
That I think is a very fair stance to have.
Yeah.
So, but then would you be cool if mom's manipulating the AI, but also limits your interaction with it?
I don't like the word manipulate.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Controlling, influencing.
No.
There's no word. So you're okay with a corporation doing it or open source as long as it isn't mom. Or you're just saying kids shouldn't have AI.
No, I'm saying it feels weird because it's my mom. Like if
Okay, I'm gonna go a little ham here.
Oh God.
So I do not understand that take because you are being manipulated nonstop by the world around you, by the algorithms, by your parents, by your friends, by
Yeah.
your school teachers, by advertising, by everything. Everybody has a frame of reference and they are trying to export that frame of reference to everybody as fast as they fucking can. If I were to read everything in the chat, I guarantee that a ton of the comments are trying to influence me and the way that I think. And they're trying to say, Tom, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know, that's not how it is. It's like this. I'm on camera trying to influence people's algorithms. The whole reason that I do this is because I have a set of ideas that I think are more helpful than what the average person has installed in their brain. How do I know? The results I've gotten in my life. So I'm just like, yo, these ideas are dope. They work. And so I'm trying to give them to people as fast as I can. People are presumably coming here because they're treating me like an AI, whether they think in those terms or not. But they're like, I want to see the world through Tom's eyes for a minute. Now, a lot of times I think Tom is dumb as a box of rocks, but every now and then he says something interesting and I take what works and I discard the rest. That is a very wise way to interface with the world. But all of us are trying to have our frame of reference manipulated. This is why people do drugs. This is certainly why people do psychedelics, is they're saying, I want to access a region, a zone of the universe or my brain, however they conceptualize it, that's different and is going to allow me to see things differently. So we seek this shit out. And I'm just saying, you've now got a drug that is fucking mainlined to do that thing. Now, if you abuse that drug, all of a sudden you have fentanyl and you're dead. And yes, if you have a psychotic AI that is trained by the overlords to lie to you and make your life worse, you are fucked. That's why I go way out of my way to say you're going to be kicking off data. And if you're looking at the data and the AI is making your life worse based on how you feel, all the metrics that you can read, stop fucking doing it. But to think that you're being manipulated by the worst kind of fucking AI there is, which is a legion of people that don't have lives that are enviable, trying to browbeat you into seeing things their way. That's why most of the time I'm like, hey guys, I think you should look at me as an AI. And you're going to disagree with a lot of the things that I say. I am trying to be persuasive, but I'm not trying to persuade. I want people to make up their own minds. And I want them to turn inward and go, is my life awesome? If yes, do more of it. And I try to give people the exact fucking thing that nature has baked into your mind, which is the pursuit of fulfillment. If you pursue fulfillment, everything in your life is going to be great. Fulfillment is working hard to gain a set of skills that you care about that allows you to make progress, not achieve, make progress towards an honorable goal. I say all of that simply because that's the thing that will make you feel good inside your head. But people do not boil life down to its actual essence, which is you're trying to manipulate your neurochemistry to feel good. Period. End of story. That's it. Everything else is fucking fancy words. And I'm just saying that AI combined with data is going to tell you, do this and you will be in a better spot. And if people want to ignore that, while I turn into an ubermensch using my AI, that's fine. They should do what they want. Now, I have an inherent distrust of virtually everything. So I don't just trust that the AI has my best interests at heart, but if we can continue to pursue a maximally truth-seeking AI that gets down to physics, then we can get somewhere very, very interesting. So anyway, I think it's good that people are paranoid. I think it's good that my ideas have to fight for space in the world with you and with others. But boy, oh boy, do I think people have the wrong frame when they're just nakedly like, it's manipulating me. Every word out of everyone's mouth is manipulating you. The algorithms that evolution has placed in your brain is manipulating you. It's bananas.
Well,
Ipso facto.
ipso facto.
There it is. It's a way cooler way of saying it. Cheers.
You're welcome.
Cheers,
Look, if I had coffee, think.
If you had, we could cheers, but
Yeah,
no more
we
coffee.
don't. And also, I think that's
Why-
bad luck.
Did you just finish it, or you literally just have an empty mug?
Oh, no, I finished it.
Okay.
Yeah, drank it on
Because
the way
that's
here.
like, I don't even see a drip in that.
There's a little bit.
Little something.
But,
Over here.
Oh,
Look at
hey.
that.
Cheers.
Man, from behind,
From behind the curtain.
Come, Stephanie. Shout out to Stephanie.
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Akshay says, oh no, I'm scared now. Yeah. Elizabeth Holmes. Come on. Now, is that really your name? And you got trolled by life, or are you trolling? She's talking about planned manipulation, and everyone in the world may do that, but not your mom. Are you high? Your mom manipulated you the most. Parents manipulate nonstop violence. From the time a child is born, my mother is still trying to get me to move home, using all of her tactics and tools. And given that that is like the world's most common joke, I have a feeling this is not just my mother. No, my mother manipulated for most of my life. Yes, not a jester. All of ours did. Them's is just how it goes. Subhash. Oh, like people wants to get manipulated. Oh God, the scrolling. Where'd that go? It's just they don't want to know about it. Yup. It's all true. It's all true. No free will. Well, AV, you're just taking it somewhere dark. And I will just say, because it would be just not an interesting life to actually act in accordance with the following truth. We are automata. There's no free will. It's all an illusion. But it's a fun illusion. And it's drawn you here to us today. And I'm honored that your inability to express free will has led you to me, as my inability to express free will has got me in front of this camera. All too true. All too true. But I won't talk about that very often because it's just not that interesting. If it's all an illusion, what's the end goal? Guida Bida. I love that name.
That's crazy.
What's the end goal? There is no end goal. Survival. Stay alive long enough to have kids that have kids. That's what's currently running in your mind. We all have bias. That is the truth. That is the truth.
Shall we get back on track?
Yeah.
And
we're gonna
talk
start
about
planning this episode.
what you guys
really have to get on.
are going to prep for this episode today.
Yes. Thank you.
Do you have any specific topics that you want the chat to look out for? If you guys have links.
We have a lot of
Drop them in the
topics
chat.
today, which, how do you feel about testing that?
Testing what?
More topics versus way deep on a few topics, or sort of touch on, say, double the amount that we would normally. What do you think?
I'm okay with touching on doubling the amount. I just think it's all about flow and how we kind of approach it. What's the same thing? What's the backbone of the episode, and how do we kind of check?
Yeah.
I just don't want to make sure we're not.
So you're worried it will feel random.
Yeah, as long as we have a flow to it, I'm down with hitting more than less because there is a lot of news.
All right, let's see what we can build in terms of flow. Okay, so things that I know. All right, and forgive us, chat. This is where we go now into a more like proper episode prep. Guida Beta, why are planes falling out of the sky? We looked into that yesterday. It's roughly the same as normal. 2024 was the worst year on record. So, and 25 is just on pace with the average. I know it seems crazy because it certainly was on my radar. I was like, what the fuck? Like everything just seems to be falling out of the sky.
We're seeing them more, but they're not happening more often.
Crazy but true. Who would have thought? Some shady be something that you would have bought. Okay, I definitely want to talk about Grok 3 as it will take me into just proper AI. As you see, we have several links. Oh yeah, the Grok 3 to win a Nobel Prize. Did you actually watch the link?
I didn't watch that whole link.
Okay, so
I went right to the 23 mark.
Something like this. Elon was prompting the guys that were with him, and he was like, I forget the guy's name, but like, what were you saying about what you think is going to happen with AI in the future? And he's like, oh, I think they're going to start winning medals, like the Fields Medal, the Nobel Prize. And I was like, damn. Now, Elon said this year or next year, and the guy just laughed. So I'm guessing he doesn't think it's going to be that fast. Elon is notoriously atrocious at timing. But if AI wins the Fields Medal in mathematics, which I think means you solved a problem that was previously unsolvable, that is insane. I don't think people know, like, that's the world where I'm like, okay, now this is creativity. Now we're unshackled from just regurgitating what humans already know. This is like AlphaFold, where AlphaFold is able to make novel proteins that don't exist. So you can say, give me a protein that's like this and this. I don't even know enough about proteins to know exactly what those things would be. Should look into it. But the fact that it's able to go, oh, I know what a protein would have to look like to combine two things to give a new novel impact on the body. And it's designing them. And at least in computer models, they're working. So that's insanity. So let's say that Elon is off by a factor of 5. That means in 10 years, you've got AI that's solving novel mathematical equations. That would be insane. And Elon is the one pushing for, like, AI has to come to understand physics. And that's the part that gets me very excited, is once you understand that if AI can understand physics now, and I mean, look, I'm a game developer, I'm a storyteller. So for me, I just want, when I say this character, but make them spin like a ice skater, that they won't mutate and their arms like start flopping out of nowhere, because it will understand persistence and things like that are all building up from physics, or gravity, where you'd be able to say, give me a character that looks like this, weighs this much, whatever. And then they're like, for instance, you could say, give me a character that's in a squirrel suit, have them hold their arms like this. And then it would know, oh, this person would hit enough wind resistance that it would travel differently than somebody just jumping off a cliff. You wouldn't have to say, just mimic all the data that you've seen that tells you the next frame is going to look like this, the next frame is going to look like this. It would actually understand physics. And it would understand physics in a way where it would have the realization, oh, this is why the next frame looks like that. That's where this gets just insane, to a level that people cannot fathom. And the sort of quick punchline is, you live in a virtual world that's indistinguishable from reality.
Yeah.
And that is where I think this all ends up. And if it ends up there in the next 30 years, it's like, woo, that is, for me anyway, that's exciting. Terrifying, don't get me wrong, but it's exciting. Okay. You crossed that out because that was fake news.
Yeah.
Very smart. History is a segment I would like to start doing. I don't know if the links that I put there are strong enough.
The Saudi one was interesting. The children one was just fucked up.
Yeah. That was the sold into slavery one?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Dude, people don't understand what humans really are. What we're capable of. Doesn't mean we'll do it, but whoa, in the right context, that's crazy. It's crazy. I forget where the kids were living, but kids leave some country and they're like, we're going to go get, was it the Muslims? I think the Muslims had taken over Jerusalem.
And they were going to go back.
And these kids are like, we're going to go tell them basically they should just give it back to us. And they thought because we're kids, they're going to be kind. They're just going to hand it back over. The kids get to Venice. I think it was Venice.
Yeah, to get transported over.
Yeah, to get them to take them there. And they're like, yeah, we'll take you. Load up on this ship. And then they just sold them into slavery.
End of the line.
That's crazy.
End of the line.
Yeah, ipso facto.
I feel like that's the title of this stream.
Crazy.
Is ipso facto.
If I thought that would work algorithmically, I'd be all for it.
No, specifically for the live stream, not the
Just the
episode.
live,
Like
I
that's
see.
the theme of this live stream.
Indeed.
Oh, I muted
Crazy.
because I don't want
I can't believe that one's
people
true.
to hear me
Actually, I
drink
can't
water.
believe it. That human's gonna human. Humans are capable of massive atrocity.
That can go into the Minecraft AI XAI.
Well, that's a great call. So, because of what he wants to do with gaming, as a developer, I am extremely eager to see what he does. Oh, I also want to talk about the anime hate.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
There's something interesting about that because is art supposed to be gate kept? Like Studio Ghibli.
Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli released a new style. And yet the hate that I'm seeing from that tweet is that people hate that they use that style and they shouldn't be able to train on that style. But once you put art into the world, it's training every other artist. So AI is doing the same thing that other people are. It's like a jazz musician being mad that other people are using jazz or, you know what I mean?
Oh, yes. There's a legal battle being fought on this right now, which they have to prove whether AI is actually bringing it in the way that an artist would and then giving their own take on it, or if it's literally just ingesting it, moving the pieces around, and then handing it back mechanistically. If that's the case, I think people are going to have a problem with it. But all you can do is delay. You cannot stop this. This is an absolutely unstoppable train. And it makes me sad to see the protectionist response. Now, remember, I'm speaking as a guy who people are going to go train their models and they're going to sound like me. And how would I handle that? If they are billing it as me, I'll pursue it because I don't want somebody else, having it say things in my voice. Like if they're representing it as actually me, now I've got a problem. So if somebody were to say this is a Studio Ghibli film, I think that's terrible. Go after them.
Agreed.
But if you're just saying this is in the style, meaning obviously you can see it. They don't have to market it. It's just you can see that it's in the style. Like that just is what it is. Like there's no way to stop somebody, and everybody's influenced by somebody else. It was really interesting when redheaded singer from England, Ed Sheeran, he got taken to court because they were saying you are ripping off whatever song. And so he got up on the witness stand and was like, let me play for you the history of music. And he walks people through the chord progression that he was being sued for. And he was like, here are just a quick 36 songs that all use the same chord progression and sound exactly like mine. This is just one artist learning from another, learning from another, learning from another. And so you can even track like the history of music all the way from like the, like classical music up until now of seeing like, oh, this person learned from this and they added this. This person learned from them and added this. This person learned from them and added this. And then it brings you all the way up to the present where it's just everybody's standing on the giants of the people that came before them.
Exactly.
So yeah, you're always going to get people that are purists that will reject this kind of thing. I get that. And so this is where I start revealing how sort of into anime culture I really am. But there's a guy named Jeff Thu, I think. Jeff Thu, professional shitbag, as he calls himself. And he's like proper pissed off about this. I get it. But that just makes me sad because you have on one hand poor anime workers being ground into dust. If you know that whole story about I forget how many people died, but an anime guy came in and burned the studio to the ground. And because they have all the papers, like every hand-drawn frame they've ever had was like stacked in this office. It was nuts seeing photos of it, and killed God knows how many people because they couldn't get out because he was just so burnt out and fried by the crazy hours. So it's like, we want the quality, but we don't want them to do the things that make it easier. It's like, that's tough. So that isn't going to be the moat anymore.
The response I'm usually getting from that is that when you remove the people from AI, the quality drops. And
that won't be true for long. That probably is true now, but that won't be true for long.
You think across the board, every medium, like video, of course, art, of course, but like writing, do you think that like an AI writer will
eventually? 1,000%. 1,000%. There will be a day within probably the next 5 years, nobody, unless it is their marketing like advantage, nobody writes without the assistance of AI. Nobody.
Okay, what if let me change the question then. There's a long-standing kind of conversation among writers now that the writing of this generation is bad because writers are writing based off of movies where the generation before us wrote on like behalf of books. Like writers in the previous generation had books that had historical context that used to expound stories and used to go deeper and have world building at a deeper like angle. That's why recent movies now aren't as good because they're just building duplicates of other movies.
It's interesting. I think there's a different problem, but I get what you're getting at. I think the bigger problem is you're making movies now for a mass audience. And so think of Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast can't do like some big intellectual thing. He's got to do a fastball down the middle. I need to be able to watch it with my mom, who's in her mid 70s, and we both have to find it interesting. That's Mr. Beast. So when you're making blockbusters only, you're going to spend a fortune and you have to make a fortune, which means it has to translate well to China. It has to translate well to dumb people in the middle of nowhere in every country around the world. Like that's how you begin like dumbing it down. Now the, pastiche on pastiche on pastiche, where it's like everybody's ripping off everybody. Yes. But I think if tomorrow there was a market for niche filmmaking, which we're actually about to see if this is true because AI is going to make this possible, I think you're going to see some really deep, absolutely fucking incredible, breathtakingly beautiful shit. Because now it's so inexpensive, I'm going to be able to do my thesis. I'm going to be able to make that 27-minute feature film about Nietzsche. And it'll get deep again. Now, people won't... Here's where I think this all goes. I started doing this show because I wanted to push my ability to make connections and say concretely what I believe. And because I only ever had to do that in the business world, I actually hadn't forced myself to even have opinions on a lot of things, which was holding my own life back. Finance being the easiest one where I was just like, I just make money. I don't know how to invest it. And now I was like, well, I have to talk about it on camera. I've explained 1,000 times why. So now I better really understand it. And now it's starting to influence how I actually invest my money. So I'm like, holy shit, I've gained a skill by forcing myself to be able to synthesize. AI will help people become synthesizers because it will be so easy to find information that now it becomes, okay, why does this piece of information matter to me? And as I go down different rabbit holes, I can start interconnecting them. Now, the reason I think people like meditation, the reason I think people like doing drugs is that it allows the brain to connect to a part of itself that it otherwise wouldn't connect with. So when I meditate, I get into a calm, creative state. When I say creative, what I mean is like I just start making interesting connections that I otherwise wouldn't have. And suddenly solutions to problems will feel like they just appear out of nowhere. But it's really regions of my brain that otherwise wouldn't talk to each other, talking to each other. So once you understand that intelligence is breaking free of the brakes versus doing something other people don't do. I'll explain that. My wife can draw, I cannot. If you take these really powerful magnets and zap people's brains, they can draw. Now, the reason is you're taking things offline, not bringing things online. So there's a part of your brain that's either saying this information isn't relevant, and so I'm just not going to look at it. It'll something like that. So all of a sudden now I couldn't draw a squirrel 4 minutes ago, but now after getting hit by this magnet, I can draw the squirrel. So when you have access to all of this data, you're able to manually start making connections that your brain otherwise wouldn't make for you. And so the AI can draw these crazy parallels, or forget the AI doing it. I find just because I can get these shots of information so quickly, I'm now able to draw parallels. So for instance, watching Trump, when you know who James Polk was, all of a sudden is a very different experience than watching Trump when you don't know who James Polk was. So it's like, oh, wow, okay, now my ability to get this kind of information very, very quickly is present. So it may harm one thing, having AI, going back to your thesis statement, it may harm one thing. People don't write as well because they never have to, because AI is doing it for them. But okay, what am I doing with that bandwidth? Because you're going to run into people like me that aren't like, oh, great, now I just get to sit and stare at the wall or play video games. I'm like, I get to go pursue something else. I get to learn these things very fast. And now I can deploy them very fast. And so all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, I understand now how to string these things together in a far more interesting way, which we'll call synthesizing. So I think AI moves people out of like the more mundane shit, structure a good sentence, into the far more interesting arena of synthesize and connect unique dots.
I follow.
All right. So that will be something along the lines that we touch on with the AI, but what's the right opening? I think probably Grok 3, because that's super timely. So you start with Grok 3, go into, and very specifically the Nobel Prize thing. I think that's far more interesting. The tweet that I originally posted was just because that was before it came out, so you don't need to pull that up. Grok 3 to win Fields Medal Nobel Prize, goes into XAI gaming, goes into anime hate. I think that's the flow there.
Skip Minecraft though.
No, I forgot that's there. Where is that? That's up in gaming. Definitely pull that in. Where do we want to pull that in? Let's do the anime hate as like the stinger, so we don't spend too much time there. So go Grok 3, XAI gaming, Minecraft AI is like the look how rad this is going to be. And then, but it's not all upside. We've also got people that fucking hate this and don't like where it's going.
Copy.
Now the question is though, what we've just sort of default said AI is the heartbeat. Is that really the heartbeat of the episode?
Grok's the most timely.
It is. We've got stealth recession, which is interesting. Ooh, also while we're in AI, we should wrap in just the future tech one, the thought to text.
Oh yeah, the meta thing.
Pretty interesting. Chad, is there anything popping off on the political landscape? If there is, let me know. We've got a couple things on here. Energy dominance. But I think that's a little bit old.
Yeah.
But I do like that idea a lot. Trilateral peace.
I feel like that.
I don't even remember what this said.
Yeah, that's speculation right now. It's nothing official. The break no laws tweet was the one that you wanted me to pull yesterday. He who saves his country.
Oh, yeah. We got to talk about that. That's crazy.
Glove Arm said protests against Doge. Social Security Director resigned from Chris. Someone said J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance speech to Europe. What about Europe freaking out over Vance's speech?
I think we already talked about that, right?
Yeah. Free speech.
Oh, the Germany shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. Do we start there?
I have break no laws. Germany raiding homes. I didn't check this. What's this Nazi?
Let me start.
I have a rundown to the right.
You have a rundown. Oh,
on column J.
Look at you. The only word I see in column J is relationships.
60 Minutes did a
Can you scroll
segment
up?
on the Germany
At
rating.
the top. It says rundown and then relationships. There's nothing else.
There might be a delay then. Hit the refresh.
Oh, yeah, it's saying something went wrong. There we go. Do you mean column K?
I'm saying the rundown started in J rows where the rundown is, and then K is where I'm actually putting them, and I'm putting categories in that.
Sorry, Eunice, what'd you say?
Said 60 Minutes did a segment on Germany rating.
Yeah, that's what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
The German.
They're just putting it in the
Bananas.
chat.
Bananas.
Doge updates.
Is there anything right now, though?
Judge refuses to block Doge access to student Bauer data.
Say that one again.
Says judge refuses to block Doge access to student Bauer data. Don't know what that means.
Student borrower data? Would that be?
Perhaps
I
they
don't
just
know
wrote
what Bauer is.
They just wrote Bauer. So
I'm going to guess that's...
borrower. Yeah, borrower.
There we go. Okay. Is it popping off? So remember, we want to cover things that have the people's attention.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good one, Robert. The Doge audit of Fort Knox, and that's the.
Oh, fuck yeah. Who said that?
Robert Hartery.
Hartery. Let's fucking go. Yes. That one aggressively. Very much want to cover that.
Doge investigating SCC.
Are they?
That's what somebody said in the chat from DreadCon's Piracy.
Let's look that up.
There's a website saying doge.gov/savings posted receipts. Let's see what that is. Oh, savings receipts.
5 hours ago, the billionaires Doge team, people just cannot do anything but try to make him sound bad for being wealthy. The billionaires Doge team is said to be targeting the SEC, which had previously fined him. Why it matters. Democrats have accused Musk's Doge team of targeting federal agencies that were investigating the tech billionaires' companies. Musk, the world's richest man, has long battled the SEC, which previously fined him millions of dollars and is currently investigating his failure to properly disclose his purchase of Twitter stock, now called X. Yeah, I get why people are going to be weird about that one. However, audit. Now, if his audit is bullshit, now we've got a problem. If he spins it, now we've got a problem. But merely looking at them, I'm here for it. Let's go.
Aaron's asking, how long after your prep right now before you record the episode?
You guys will be here for it. So we traditionally leave ourselves about an hour. So we will be rolling probably no later than 10:30. Yup.
People are asking for Eric Weinstein. Yes, more Eric, please.
Yeah, hit him up on Twitter, by the way. Let him know. But we love Eric around here.
Yes, 10:30 PST. 10:30 PST, California time. Doku said, love the new white hat.
Well, thank you. I almost wore a single glove. I don't think people like how I'm willing to walk a line with fashion. Now that you guys have awoken the beast, I've got to find a cool white glove, but it would go
Michael
with this
Jackson.
outfit so well. Yeah, but I don't want diamonds on it.
Oh, okay.
The only white glove I have is a golf glove, and I was like, nah, it's not cool enough. But I won't be dancing. That's the only thing. But dude, when I get into a fashion phase, I really go hard, Drew. I'm not gonna lie.
Are you into gloves right now?
Into gloves, no.
You just said you want to white.
No. With this outfit,
Oh,
that
so
would look
specifically
fucking dope.
for this. Okay.
Yeah. I was putting it on, and I was like, yo, get that fucking glove. And I put it on. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, this looks fucking dope. But
The chat is not here for the
golf.
gloves.
No
I'll
gloves.
tell you that.
no. Here's
no.
the
Jeez.
boys and girls understand. When I go hard on the fashion, I am doing it to wind you up. I am trying to find that line where I legitimately think it's cool and I know you're going to think it's trash. That is fucking fashion. That is the response that people want with fashion. Where you guys are like, this is ridiculous. Like all the talk about the shoes. But you're leaning into it. You're doing exactly the response. Yes, dude, all you do with fashion is troll. Drew has style. But when you start getting into fashion, you are trying to fuck with people. Like for real, for real, for real. You're trying to find that edge. This is the difference between ready to wear and the runway. Have you ever seen a human in your life walking around, Marcus? Oh my God, if I had a glove with a fucking Kaizen logo on it, that's what I need. I need something like that where there's a reason. Hell yes. Yes. Glove. We literally have somebody in here called Glove Arm. And he said, get that glove up your arm. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But the thing is, when I do it, not if, when I do it, I'm not going to fucking mention it. I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to watch people lose their minds in chat. And there will be nary a word said about it. That's the game. That's the game. All right.
We got a comment that Drew's going to like, actually, particularly from Lyrith saying, at Tom, I rewatched your conversation with Destiny and thought of something critically needing your attention.
Let's go.
Hassan Piker, Content Nuke by H3H3 Productions.
Content Nuke?
Content Nuke is a segment, is like a type of like content segment that H3 does. H3H3.
What is it? What is it?
He just shits on people.
So bring him on to what? Shit on me? Is that the idea?
I think he wants you to react to H3H3's production of Content Nuke that is based on Hassan.
I'm going to have to see this. That's a lot of based ons.
Yeah, so he's basically doing like a deep dive shitting on Hassan.
Yeah.
And the reason she says I'm going to like it is because, we're starting this rom-com with
no, we're not.
Eunice and Hassan, who's like her off again streamer.
Let's go.
The streamer that she hates because she thinks that he's better than the muscles and the like trolling that he does. She thinks that inside he's a good guy with a nice heart.
Okay.
And she's just mad that he's always like showing off his muscles and like trolling people.
Secretly she's kind of into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't like that this is on the internet.
Let's go, Eunice.
I don't like
10 things I hate about you. It's literally 10 things I hate about you.
This is not. Anyway, somebody up there said Elden Ring. Which,
as like a form of Tourette's?
That was a great transition to get out of that. Good job.
That was pretty good, actually. I took the bait on that one.
See?
Somebody said Elden Ring. Ipso facto.
Ipso facto. As someone who loves Elden Ring, I will say good comment.
Elden Ring is hard. It's hard.
Yeah, some games like require like training to do. Like no thank you.
Yeah, it's not my style.
Yeah.
It's just too many fucking attempts.
It's such a good challenge. As someone who loves the physics of progress, you should love Dark Souls and Elden Ring.
It's just I don't have enough time to play games.
It's not that fun to me. Like
yes, it is.
Like
yes.
I wanna compete for sure, but like it's so subtle.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was like Skyrim was a big one too a couple years
it,
ago where it was like 400 hours of gameplay. And I'm like, that's a year, like in the game. Like it's stupid. Like that's a lot.
You guys do not want to hear how many hours like total I have on games.
And no, I don't throw shade on that.
I do.
Like if you love it the most, let's go. Never seen Tom so emotional. What did you drug him with? See,
I've been trying to get Tom to do drugs so long. I want him to do mushrooms so bad.
Really? Shrooms?
Yes.
I've microdosed. But no, you're not going to count that?
Yeah, it's like saying I hotboxed and nobody passed it to me. Like, yeah, you did it, but you didn't really do it.
Yeah. Well, I certainly haven't done a heroic dose. That is for sure. Somebody said something. Zenchi. What was the comment from Zenchi? Go back. Literally just talking.
Oh, never seen Tom so emotional. What did you drug him with? LOLs.
I don't think she means the word emotional, at least not as I say it, but emotive, perhaps.
Emotive, yes. Yeah.
This
is how he is off
This
camera.
is why we wanted to do this format. So the reason that they asked me to start streaming originally, not this, but when I was doing game-only streaming, was they were like, off camera, you're a lot more, what word would you guys use? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Emotive.
Emotive. Perfect. You're a lot more emotive off camera than you are on camera. And I have an angry neutral face. So when I'm doing interviews, I just look mad. So we started doing the streaming. It made it a lot easier for me to be relaxed on camera. And so here we are. So physics of progress, getting better. So yeah, my natural personality is a lot bigger than, remember, I used to be a stand-up comic. So I just put that on the shelf for so many years and also was never professional with it. I was like the amateur kid. But I've done stand-up comedy in front of a lot of people. And so that was me in my late teens and early 20s. And then I wanted to take myself more seriously because I was very self-deprecating. So when I went to film school anyway, I got more serious and just set it aside. Esoteric Dichotomy says, Tom, do you let subscribers vote on guests? Not like that, but if you guys want to see something and it's actually in keeping with the channel, I 100%. I want to do things you guys think is rad. So definitely let me know. Come on, Tom, let's hear your AI jokes. I'm not funny like that. I'm funny with telling stories. And honestly, I used to be funny. If you don't use it, you really do lose it. So now I'm a sit-down critic.
I was looking at that too.
Ouch.
Ouch. Yes, in fairness, that's fairly accurate. I don't think of myself as a critic, but commentator. I'm a sit-down commentator. It's very true. Tom, bring back alt history. DF, what do you think about, he had a bit of a moment.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. Is he all right?
I don't know. So, Ivar, this was before stuff like that got recorded. This is way back in the day. This is over 20 years ago. Ask Grok for a joke based on Tom Bilyeu's older material. There's no footage of me doing stand-up comedy. I would like to see Michael Malice on again. So I think Michael Malice and I are going to do something in the not too distant future. So keep your eyes peeled. Okay, we got to focus. We have like 40 minutes left. Almost knocked my coffee over.
Someone dropped a link saying, Vance says AI is not going to replace human beings, if you guys are interested in that.
Yeah, the speech he gave, I think we covered that already.
Zelensky? No deal?
It's worth covering. I'm not even sure that's big enough to make we got to really think about the flow here. Is that big enough for the intro?
I don't think it's big enough for the intro. Secretly, I don't want to cover it, but it is interesting that he said he doesn't want to do a deal. So I'm contractually.
Did he say I don't want to do a deal, or is he saying that
I reject the current deal that's on the table and I want more money
to fight? Yeah.
So
interesting. Yeah, he doesn't like the weak position that he's in right now. He doesn't like that Trump and Putin are icing him out of the negotiation, which makes him feel like a ineffectual little kid. And that's not going to help with getting reelected. So he's going to have to posture hard.
I mean, they haven't had elections in like 5 years. So.
Yeah. And this is where war gets weird, man.
Yeah,
it's very easy to consolidate power when you're in a war. I think that, what's his name? Netanyahu has done the same thing. Like, hey, just hang tight. We got to get on the other side of this. And it gives him time to rebuild his image. And so if he can there's a phrase in Hollywood, wow them in the end and you have a hit. So you can have some weakness in the beginning and in the middle, but if you dazzle them in the end, you've got a hit. So Zelensky, Netanyahu, if they can dazzle their constituents in the end, then they can stay in power. But I mean, typically on the other side of war, you just don't keep the same people. Like Churchill literally saved all of Europe, and they ousted him like not long after the war ended. He was the right person for the war, but probably the wrong person for peace. It's fair enough. Like the guy was a lunatic. One of my favorite political figures, full stop. Absolutely incredible, but a lunatic nonetheless.
Melee, the crypto pumping scheme.
Oh God, yeah, we got to talk about that. Oh, that one. Can we need some chat. We need some fresh updates on that situation. Has Melee commented? I would very much like to know. What's up, Gates? I would very much like to know what's up. Jared applied for almost 300 jobs. Keep going. 301st. It's always the key. All right. All right, we are officially in the part, boys and girls, where you're going to be talking with Eunice. Drew and I are going to have to lock in to make sure we're ready to film in the next 30 minutes.
Woo! My turn. I'm just going to read some of you guys out. DL says USA/Greenland equals China/Taiwan. Dustin, welcome in. Says, "Sup G, keep doing what you guys love. Keep doing what all you guys do. All love." Welcome in, Dustin. Danilo says, "Sup Uni, hi." I'm not sure that I quite like that nickname, but thank you. Clear Glass Studio says, "AI for President 2028." Do we want that? Yeti Bandit says, "Malice says that Zelensky is a dictator." Oscar said, "Not my President's Day protests are emerging. Found it by searching. Not super deep into it, but they provided a
He
link."
hasn't responded.
Uh,
He has. I'm gonna drop the link to it.
Okay, word.
He said if you go to the casino and lose money, you wouldn't complain.
Is that what you really said?
It's a problem between private individuals. I just dropped it. It's the second one in that section on the left side.
All right.
It's subtitled though.
Diana,
Were you
what's
about
the
to ask me something?
topic?
No, I was actually, but I forget what now.
Diana, they're going through their list of topics that they've already pulled right now. They're organizing them into what the show format is actually going to look like before they record. I believe they're going to start recording around 10:30, which is, 32 minutes-ish, 10:30 our time, PST. And you're going to see it being recorded live, pretty much. So right now they're really trying to, as the kids say, lock in and get it in order, write the intro, do all that stuff so they could get a good show on the books. Ribsy said, "Did you guys already talk about Trump hanging his mugshot in the Oval Office?" Let's see. Do Tom and his wife need more Fortnite squad members? I think they're a locked-in duo. Dread Conspiracy. I think they are a locked-in duo. Eunice, where will you be posting the live schedule? The live schedule gets posted in our Discord, but we'll also be posting it. Twitch has a specific schedule tab, so we post it there too. And it's always in PST time zone. You can pretty much expect, though, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays will be Tom Bilyeu Show prep. Mondays, Wednesdays are days that don't have anything to do with really Tom Bilyeu Show. What does it mean when they go live? I'm not sure what that means, but we're going live Monday through Friday on Tom's channels. Some days we'll be doing Tom Bilyeu Show prep and recording. Other days we'll be doing replays of content, Tom's YouTube content, and talking with chat, just as a catch-up.
Interesting.
Are any Marvel Rivals players in Impact Theory? I don't quite know if there are. I've played it a couple times, but that's it. Gold in Fort Knox, transparency, how much versus chaos? Any thoughts on Doge firing people responsible for a nuclear arsenal? Anonymous Mouse says, "Tom Bilyeu, killer outfit. Noticed you seemed a bit under the weather last week. I hope I was wrong or you're feeling better."
I was not under the weather at all. So unless we released an episode where I was sick when we filmed it, I guess that's possible. But no, I felt great last week. But the number of times I will see in the comments, "Ooh, Tom looks sick. Is he okay?" It's hilarious. It's just my face, boys and girls. It's just my face.
It's just how I look.
Oh God, yeah. The walk of shame, Jesus. We got to talk about that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
We got to talk about that. I feel some kind of way.
Alejandro said, "It's that RBF."
Hard in all caps.
Leo, live in Huntington Beach, but I'm from Argentina, first time commenter. Welcome in, Leo. How are you?
Good, thank you. And this is a big deal.
Bazimian, what's your favorite animes to watch right now? That's a good question. Leave it in this thing to ask Tom. I'm gonna drop the link. He won't be able to respond to that right now, but that's a good question. You look great, Tom. I think it's just because you're high strung and achieve well.
The hits keep on coming.
Someone said sorry,
High
dot,
strung.
dot, dot, still handsome, dot, dot, dot. Burnt too many calories from deep thinking. People had strong reactions to this Trump tweet this weekend. Let us see what that is.
Is it the break no laws?
Yeah, he who saves his country does not violate.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
any
that.
law.
That's in the intro for sure.
Thank you, Kit Moon. It was certainly a tweet. What do you think if AI would be able to generate new/additional seasons of your favorite animes? For example, Death Note.
Oh my God, that'd be so gangster.
Do you-
Death Note's so good.
Does Death Note need another season though? Let's be real.
Yes.
I feel like it's so perfectly
you
cringe.
keep dropping
and
the
ending.
book. You keep dropping the book, and you just see what does the next person do.
That's what you would do?
Of course.
I want them to be just as cringy though.
Cringy. How dare you?
Yeah. It's
Are you
such
talking about the chip scene? Like what?
there
what do
it's
you
just
think
the
is
whole
cringy about Death
the whole
Note?
anime is so
Do you not like? You don't watch anime?
Yeah, I do. But
Because
it's
anime, you have to embrace Japanese storytelling.
but it was
What you're
good.
calling cringe
It was good.
is their flavor. It's like over the top. It's made for it. If you want to create anime or manga, write it as if you're writing for an autistic 13-year-old. For real. You have look. They have if they're sweating, you put a gigantic.
No, I
sweat
know.
drop.
I think
You
Death
have
Note is
them
iconic.
turn into a kawaii character when they're embarrassed.
Not
like
kawaii.
Hawaii, whatever the fuck. But like it once I understood, oh, that's exactly what you're doing. There's no room to misinterpret what's happening.
Listen, I think the animated version, perfect. The live action is the cringy one.
Oh, I don't watch live action anime.
The one on Netflix that they put out, that one was crazy.
Of One Piece?
No, of Death Note.
Oh, I
Yeah.
haven't watched any of the
I'm guilty of watching the Netflix One Piece
Yeah.
live action.
That
Is it
one
good?
was.
I've heard it's really good.
I got into it. And then I went back and
You
watched
get into it because you're like, this is crazy. But it's
No, it's good. The reason I like it is because it combines 4 episodes of the normal anime into like. So it's action packed. Yeah.
it.
And then you go back and watch the real one, and you're like, oh, it took 17 episodes to get to the point that they did in 3
Right.
scenes. Like, yeah, that's my issue with anime. A lot of times, it's just the storytelling's too long and drawn out.
Yeah, One Piece in particular. 26 years for a single story. 26 years. It's incredible. Don't you dare ruin anything with Severance, because I'm behind.
No, he's listing topics. You want to talk about?
He asked about Severance, though.
And then you screwed up. He asked about Ashley St. Clair too. Elon's baby mama.
Oh, God, that's right. He's got another one.
yeah.
That's a good one. I like
I
that.
don't know if we want to talk.
That's just kind of fun, though.
I know, but you know.
What's
Did
her
you
name?
guys talk about
Ashley St.
Luigi's
Clair.
website?
Is she
Is
famous?
a question.
Not that I know of. She's famous for being Elon's
Is
baby
it
mama.
Saint Clair?
St. Clair? Yeah.
Like ST period space?
CLAIR. Yeah.
What was the question, Eunice?
Did you guys talk about Luigi's website?
Luigi had a website? Mangione? Or
Yeah.
no, I didn't even know he had a website.
Let me give you the linky poo.
Did he make it from prison, or he made it before he went to
I have no context on what this website is
So
or
probably like some
who made it.
GoFundMe thing that people are trying to make for him.
his lawyers made it?
Got it.
I put it in the Slack.
Fafa, you're just now replying to something that we said a long time ago. Are you watching?
They
this
might be
from the
behind.
beginning?
They might be behind Because when you
Yeah,
click on it, you can scroll.
You do that with YouTube?
Yes.
Live stream?
Yep.
Dope. Okay. Let's go.
Like last live stream, somebody replied to something from the very beginning, like at the end. So they might have just clicked on it and restarted.
Yeah, doing the YouTube premieres is always schizophrenic in the comments. 'Cause I'm like, wait, what are you referring to? Naruto live action would be dope if done well. Did Kanye get a divorce? Not that I've heard of.
Yeah, it's like the third time they said.
Wait, I thought I saw it on Twitter that it was happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The woman that he had stripped down? at the
Bianca.
thing?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
More info, please.
There's also a theory, I don't know if it's true, this was just on Twitter, that she was sent by like the CIA to infiltrate his mind or something like that and to just get info on
I
it.
wish I could laugh a lot harder at that. It's probably not true, but they've done some wacky
Yeah.
shit.
Somebody said that Monica Lewinsky was an op too.
That doesn't feel true, given calls and stuff. But like, that's icy that her friend recorded her.
I mean, women would be the best spies.
Women are the best spies. What do you mean would be? Dude,
Yeah,
men
yes.
are hysterically easy to manipulate.
There it is.
Hysterically easy to
said.
manipulate. That's nature, man. Don't be mad at me.
Did they discuss the 4.7 trillion in miscoded treasury funds Doge found?
No, I didn't know about it.
We'll take a linky.
Let's go.
We'll take a link if you
Drop that
guys got a
link.
link, please.
She was recorded on purpose. Yes, but by her friend, not by her, unless you're saying she knew she was being recorded, which if she did, she is the greatest actor of all time. Jackie Chan at my house. That is in desperate need of context. Why is Eunice sitting in darkness? Are you underlit today, Eunice?
I don't think so. I think it's just because it's the black curtain behind me,
That could be.
you know, type of thing.
That could be. Yeah, in fact, at least on the camera, you look normal.
Yeah.
Why hasn't Trump released the Epstein files? Yo, Martin, ain't that the question? Whew. That one to me is going to be fascinating to see either does he just dodge or does he actually release them? I don't know. It seems like they were pretty close at one point. We need a live action Gundam movie. Okay, it's not live action. So to your point, live action. Yes, Gundam is, I'm obsessed. But there's some pretty good Gundam content out there. Epstein files will collapse the government. That is entirely possible, Dave. I'm not going to lie. We are definitely going to cover the release of Grok 3. We did see it. Indeed. Glove arm. Trump doesn't want to implicate himself. That is, man, that's the sort of fastball down the middle read. I'm not going to lie. That's sort of where my head's at. We'll see. We will see, boys and girls. We will see. All right, I need to start actually clacking on this intronius here. Just make sure.
Oh yeah, I gotta hop on the ones and twos.
All right, let me see what you got.
When I do that though, the screen share, the chat is gonna be gone.
Minecraft.
All right. Let me use the little boys' room, and then I can take control.
Yeah, if you want, just give it back to me, or if you want to just end broadcast, up to you.
Yes, I might pass it back.
Jose saying, where are we on Doge? Can Musk audit Fort Knox and SRI? They're going to be talking
All right,
about
while you're there, guys, let me ask you. So we're putting together the heartbeat of the episode right now, which basically means where do we start the episode? What's going to be the headline and thumbnail? What do we think is really going to draw people in? What do we have something meaty to say? So there's two things that I think are up for grabs here. You've got the audit of Fort Knox and going into like economic talk, Doge, all that. And then you've got the AI stuff. So from Grok 3 to the potential of AI in the next several years winning a Nobel Prize, which of those two things is more interesting? Which of those would you be like, I've got to watch that episode? Chickens are weird. Zorlock. Don't say small boys room. Say washroom. All right, scroll to the bottom. Doge. Yep, I vote AI. AI. Scroll back up a little bit. Sorry. Close race. I vote Fort Knox and Econ. Go down. Doge by the dip. Laugh out loud. Very different. Keep scrolling down. For today, I think the Doge stuff will catch more people's attention. Posted the 4.7 trillion link. We will definitely need to look at that. AI and Doge. AI and Doge. Zenchi. That's about Tulsi. Different. I want to audit Fort Knox. Doge. Okay, Tom. I'm going AFK. Peace out, Maria. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Add Ron Paul auditing the Fed. He's not actually doing it though, right? Didn't Ron Paul say no, hard pass? Doge, Fort Knox. Looks like Doge is the winner. People want to start with Doge, Fort Knox, not AI. Yeah, it's way, way outweighing it.
You got
Cool. Thank you guys. That is obscenely helpful. Obscenely helpful.
You got
That's my instinct as well.
2 linky poos in the Slack
For the
about
4.7?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is this just you and me or you, me, and Drew?
Tom Bilyeu Show.
Also a good place.
Tom, are you in the mood for a shameless plug?
Always.
You're going live tomorrow for a masterclass.
Oh, that's right. Word. On procrastination, which
yeah.
is like our. So for those of you that don't know, I teach business at Impact Theory University, and we do occasionally free masterclasses that anybody can join. So by all means, check that out. This one's going to be about procrastination. It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, what time?
Please hold.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Pacific. So tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific, we're going to be talking about how to beat procrastination, which is like our most viral thing ever. Something that I would have thought for sure people would be bored to tears, but it just absolutely outperforms. We just had I think it was a carousel. Go super viral on Facebook about this. And it happened. We already had the thing lined up to do about procrastination. So just super weird. So anyway, join us.
Eunice, can you drop the link in the...
I sure
good call.
can.
That's way better. All right. 2.7. All right. This is live. That will not be easy to find what we were looking for.
Crap, my computer's about to die. Eric, don't hate me. I might need to run a line to charge my computer.
Doge says it found nearly untraceable budget line item responsible for 4.7 trillion in payments. Over what period? The Treasury access symbols, when left blank, make it nearly impossible to trace payments. Jesus Christ. This is so fucking dumb. The Trump administration's Department of Government Efficiency discovered an identification code linking U.S. Treasury payments to budget line item, which accounts for nearly 4.7 trillion in payments, which was oftentimes left blank. Discovered an identification code. So it has a code. Wait. Discovered an identification code to a budget line item, which was often left blank. How do they know that it's the same code? The Treasury access symbol is an identification code linking a Treasury payment to a budget line item. Standard financial process. Doge wrote in a post on X. In the federal government, the task field was optional for 4.7 trillion in payments and was often left blank, making traceability almost impossible. They're making it sound like it's one thing, though. It's not. They're just saying that this field is optional and it's often left So it's not like 4.7 trillion went to one thing. There's just 4.7 trillion in payments that nobody knows what the fuck they were for. This is so dumb. Dude, this is crazy.
And for the record, this is why he wanted access to the Treasury, not to steal the $430 in your bank account.
I mean, of all the places to not audit, the Treasury's pretty insane.
Brian, welcome in. Peace from Canada, welcome in. Alejandro said, agreed, Drew. Ivar said, 4:30, how did Drew know? I feel attacked. Gates Royale said, watching this being made in front of our eyes is just epic.
Glad you guys enjoy it. This feels like the future, not just for us, but I think this is going to be copied by basically every show. We'll see if it hits as hard as we think it will. If it doesn't, then nobody will copy it, and we will be a tragic cautionary tale. But that's how you learn.
Okay, I heard Doge. Update on the rundown then.
Say that again.
I heard about Doge. Are we updating the rundown?
Yeah, Doge is where we're going to kick off. So Treasury audit into Fort Knox requests.
Someone in chat literally said, I am planning on copying your format.
Please
It's
do.
fire.
Man, I'm going to learn from as many people as I can, so you should definitely learn from us.
Bob says, can I be the water bottle sponsor?
Bob, what's your company?
Cole, I'm loving what you guys are doing. Keep up the great work. Love from Canada. Cole, thank you. Welcome in.
And by the way, thank you guys for engaging in this. The episodes will be way better the more you guys point us to things that you have a strong response to. Remember, it doesn't always mean that you love it, but when something gets a strong response out of people, that's the kind of stuff we want to zoom in on. Things that have gotten people's attention, that people really care about. And so oftentimes, like, I'll be thinking, oh man, this one's really fire. But then I find myself constantly drawn to AI stuff. And so as we were taking notes, I just thought, I don't know. I think the Doge thing is going to be bigger, but when you're inside your own head, it can be impossible to tell. So getting your guys' feedback is a great way to make sure that these episodes are better by the time that they reach the public, which is exactly how we grow the channel, which is how we get bigger names into the interviews. And we've got a whole idea on doing segments here on the show where we bring people on, but to get there, we've got to have you guys behind us in a big way. So appreciate it very, very, very much. It's also more fun. This is just more fun.
That's good because Sir Wiki says, I enjoy this too. You guys have a good chemistry of easy flowing conversation that makes people think.
I like it.
Hey, is that asteroid still a thing? I thought I passed this already.
You say Asperger's?
Asteroid.
Asteroid. Oh, is it still on its way?
Uh,
I was like, how did Asperger's pass us?
Oh, in the year 2032. Oh, we got time.
That's crazy.
But they're saying that it really might hit us, right?
It's like the percentages are like creeping up. It was like a 1% chance. And I was like 2.3.
Huh.
Where is it?
That's the wrong
like where? I mean,
Space.
how big is it? Did they say?
Did
they measure?
It can like demolish the city.
What kind of
That's-
city though?
That's planet.
Like, are we talking
destroying.
Like they said, it's like they call it a city killer. Like if it drops, it's going to like annihilate its surrounding area.
Like the Yucatan Peninsula kind of annihilate its area? Like it's
I don't understand.
that's what killed the dinosaurs.
The Yucatan Peninsula?
Yeah.
That's what they call the asteroid? The Yucatan?
No. That's just where it hit.
Oh, okay.
So if we're saying that's the type of city destroying, then the secondary consequences are blotting out the sun, creating a winter because the literal sun can't get through all the fires and everything and all the debris kicked up into the atmosphere. It's crazy. Crazy.
Also, if you let Candace Owens tell it, there was no dinosaur, no asteroid.
Okay. Hi.
And
Now
she was
listen, I'm open. I'm open.
and she
I'll
was
hear
like,
her out with an open mind.
She's like, dinosaurs aren't real. How come only archaeologists find them?
What?
She's not wrong.
But wait.
I've never found a dinosaur
Hold on.
bone.
Every time I listen to her, she does not sound stupid. The only time I ever thought she sounded like whoops was with Rogan. What'd you say?
What was the Rogan?
When he was like, talk about climate change. She's like, I don't want to. I don't know enough about it. And he kept pushing her and she finally caved and started talking about it. And then I was like, yeah, You shouldn't have done that. Because she says things too emphatically. Instead of being like, I don't know enough about it. And so my take is that I don't know enough about it. And so I'm not sure. Listen, I've got like I have a base assumption, Joe, that people tend to find something like that and make it a bigger deal than it is, but I don't know the data. And so I have a base assumption that's in my lizard brain that pulls me towards that belief, but who knows? Then she doesn't sound like a crazy person. But once he gets her talking, she's like, listen, like they fake stuff like that all the time. There's nothing that makes me think that that's real. It's not real. And then he was like, wait, what? And she just kept doubling down. So she started in the right vein, which was like, I don't know. But you got to have your way of explaining the I don't knows. You can't go, I don't know, and then hot take. Like you got to say, because look, I get that I'll do things like this, but I try to say, look, like earlier where I was like, hey, American troops going into Mexico had me excited, like in a super weird lizard brain way. But I frame it in, look, I get it. Like this is not the emotion to lean into. This is the emotion to lean away from. But she did not have said answer. And so she sounded a little wacky. So anyway, I say all of that when every time I hear somebody say she's a nut job and then I go look at her, I'm like, she's not crazy. Now she may have weird beliefs, but
God bless her. Hope she
crazy.
figures it out.
So, but I don't know about the dinosaur thing. At least as you represent it, that sounds silly.
Hey, speaking of that, people are saying that she's right. It's a good point. Someone says stay open-minded.
Hold on, going back to the asteroid thing. I got fact checked. It's the diameter of the Empire State Building's height. So not an extinction level event, but it's going to be like.
That's gonna leave a mark.
I'm about to say, yeah, but
Gonna leave a mark.
That's gonna leave a
Just a
mark.
scratch. Just a scratch.
you know.
What would that be? I'd be very curious to know what they think compared to a nuclear blast. What is the energy released by that kind of impact?
Isn't there that website where you can like make your own asteroids and you can like drop them on
Yeah.
places? And we should do that. You should do that on stream actually, just to
fun.
play around with it. Yeah.
All right, we'll let chat do that. 2.6 chance to hit according to the NYP. Now, has that gone up from the 2.3 that Drew just told us? So like every
See?
15 minutes it goes
It's
up.
taking
by
up.
more?
It's taking up.
That would be bad.
Wait, that
8
many-
megatons sounds like a lot. I don't love that.
Okay.
Razja the God. Let's go, Razja.
Okay, I know we got to do episode prep, but this is a good one. Okay, you just found out the asteroid's definitely going to hit us. You have 24 hours. What's the first thing you do? Where do you go?
Oh, just time with Lisa. 100%.
Cute. All right.
But I mean, wouldn't you guys immediately collapse down into your family and be like, I just want to hang out with the small number of people that I love? No?
Yeah.
Why do I feel like you love it? It feels like her brain is calculating what's the right thing to say on camera. Yeah, that's what I would do.
That was, me too.
She's like, bro, I'd be high on coke. What are you talking about?
That's crazy.
I would be coked out playing like fucking Farmville. Let's go. For real. Now I need to know the answer.
I would want to spend time with family, but I feel like I'm also like, damn, I really only have 24 hours like left to live kind of thing.
That's
so,
it though. That's the drill. Now what?
So maybe I
Go out all the time.
go all out. Like, look, I have a bucket
Give it
list.
to me. What's all
I have
out?
a bucket list on my phone.
You're not going to make it to Paris.
I'm not going to make it to Paris,
So
but it's
what's
like, but there's like some random stuff on there that I just never done.
we're going to need to know what this random
We don't
stuff
need to
is.
know, but I could tell you it does not involve drugs.
It's nefarious.
Or anything.
Not
Definitely nefarious.
coked out.
I'll do the Drew's favorite pose, which is the
Nice.
the
She got
two
secrets,
hands.
y'all.
She's cooking
Two
something
hands.
up.
We all got to keep our secrets. I feel it. Okay, I have to actually write the words now.
Okay. That was fun. Thank you for engaging me in that chat.
What? You didn't answer.
Yeah, same. It's like I would hug my daughter, but she'd
I was
be
going to
like,
say, if this answer does not involve
Yeah.
Lynn, we've got a real problem.
yeah, I will hug Lynn, but knowing her, that'll last for like 2 hours, and then she'll go back on TikTok, and then I'll just be
8.
like, all right, so what do we do for the other 22? So I don't know. I would at least walk outside to see what everybody else's panic is. I feel like I would gauge check that.
Interesting.
But I don't know if I would have like I'm just gonna sit in this house and stare at you for the last like.
Yeah, same. Because I would want to be with them too. But it's like I feel like if we're just sitting there in the house and like counting down the minutes,
Yeah, that's a
That's
weird
not-
way to go out
do
for me.
that.
yeah, like I'm not. Oh my God, let's all go around and talk about our last moments with each other and how much we love each other. It's like I know how much I love you, and you know how much you love me. But
Do you think the PlayStation servers will still be up? Like, can Lisa and I play a few more rounds of Fortnite, or
Catch more
Is
dubs.
that out?
I bet you there would be memes of like people on TikTok being like, "Yo, last hour here again, like literally."
1,000%.
There's literally gonna be people playing
I would be
Fortnite.
posting.
Yeah.
Yo, this is our last 24. I hate to say it. I would shamelessly just be like 100%. I wouldn't be able to stop Lisa. I'll just tell you that right now. Like, she likes to document. All right, got to write this fucking intro. All right. By the way, chat, one last question. No, but this is about the
I
intro. This is
know.
about the
I
intro.
know.
So, chat, I always have two options. I can make them, so my intros used to be like 8 years ago. They used to be like really thoughtful. Now I do an intro that is fun, playful. Do you guys want like a heavy intro, or have you been enjoying the playful intros? So what I've been doing on the Tom Bilyeu Show from the jump is playful. We like that, or do we want more like deeper shit? Let me know. Let me know. We probably don't have time for super deep today. All right, 2 votes for playful.
One said,
Praise
"Love the
Jesus.
thoughtful." Someone said, "Playful."
Quick,
playful.
short, super fast intros. Cat, love it. I love the thoughtful, deep. All right, there we go. Playful, love seeing more sides of your personality. Thank you. Playful. Could do both. That's going to get a little hard, Lyrith. Maybe not impossible, but hard. Not enough experience. All right, fair.
Someone
Playful.
said some flirty. Yes, someone
Both.
said flirty.
Astro, I'm not sure I'm going to get you all the way to flirty. Playful. Okay, at least for now, we're going to go with playful. Trolling. We got trolling is now becoming a popular answer. Okay, today's is going to be playful for no other reason than we're almost out of time. We got to record. All right.
And on the playful side, someone said, "And this guy's running a masterclass on procrastination."
That's hilarious.
Chad is a
You got me.
Day. Chad is good.
You got me, bitch. All right.
Okay. What's the ETA? I'm gonna grab the screen and you're gonna lose
Probably
Chad.
7 minutes.
I'm trying.
Oh, that's fine.
All right.
In
Venus,
fact,
it's all on you.
It's all on
I'm
me.
going to need...
Chat, Tom can no longer see you because they are literally getting ready to
Oh, God.
shoot
Where
and
am
get
I?
ready to shoot.
You on the Wi-Fi, Eric?
No, I'm party line.
Man, I don't know where I left my headphones at.
Switch over to
Oh, they're right here. Hello.
That'll be fine.
Okay. I'm actually, if you need me, you're going to have to flag me down. I'm going to listen to some rain
Oh,
here
he's got the
while I
rain.
write this. Yep. We got to really
Yes,
dial
sir.
in now. It's wheeze out of time.
Got it. Got it.
I think that asteroid is locking in. That's great. No. Please, no. Post the masterclass link. I got you. I've posted it a few times. Let me reshare it for you. Let me grab that thing. Who asked that? Gates. There you are.
Did it just bring everything? That would be so cool.
Crazy how we are all doing pretty much the same thing here, yet Tom is the only one being productive. That's crazy. Scared Gohan, my first time here live. I really like seeing the show prep. Thank you. I think they like doing it live. I'm not going to answer for them, but I think.
We're doing it live.
Doing it live. That's crazy how that, some people don't know where that's from still. Don't see the link. Do you all see it? Wait, you can't see when I post the link? For real? I think Drew has to make me a moderator
Of what?
of the channel.
I thought you are. Didn't you? I thought you got access yesterday.
I did not get access yet.
Oh, I got you.
Thank you. Luis, Tom, best regards from Mexico. Thank God I found your content. Luis, I will tell him once he takes the rain sounds out of his ear. But thank you for being here. We'll get you guys the link in just a second. Bob says, so now that Tom can't hear, what's the one thing you two want to tell us about him? Give us some behind the scenes info. Gates Royale, thank you. I appreciate that. Gates Royale said, you're doing a great job. Don't stress. Just do your best.
Oh.
So.
I just dropped it in the chat. The link.
Thank you. There he is. Andrew. Tell us what you two really think of the whole white glove thing.
Terrible. Terrible idea.
It just gave me Michael Jackson vibes, so. If there's no moonwalk, we don't want it.
So if you moonwalked, you'll be fine with it.
Yeah. But you think he's going to? No. That man won't break dance for us.
That is true.
Drew, can you also post the Discord link? Drew, I'll send you the Discord link as well. For you to post. Thank you, sir. What about Drew? He's productive? He is productive. Look at him. He's going hard in the paint over there on that spreadsheet. He's writing down what he's going to say.
Discord link.
Discord link right there. Bada bing.
All right, I have to watch this.
Once you have the best pre-trained model,
Drew has come a long way in the time since I first saw him hosting with Tom. Good man. That's right. He has.
one thing that's super exciting is that once you have the best pre-trained model,
Miss Towers
ability for those models to think
saying, I'm old enough to remember we're doing it live. By the way, first time commenting here. This live is great. Miss Towers, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. We're happy to be doing it.
I need a transcript.
Link, LOL. Is this Zelda? It is not. People just want the links.
Oh, that's why nothing signed in. Ha 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 ha.
Zoolander. Where did Zoolander come from? It's very cool to see the process. Thank you. I'm going to butcher that name. John C. X. Y. I truly don't know. Thank you. David says, are they going to speak? They are going to speak. They are currently locked in to what they're going to be saying for the Tom Bilyeu Show. So they're trying to get everything together before they start recording because they should be recording soon in just a minute, and then you're going to see it live. Tom's shoe game is on point. What were you wearing the other day when Lisa was subbing for Drew? Couldn't see them. I believe he was wearing the Y3s, I think.
Yeah, he's wearing Y3s.
Yeah, everybody loved those shoes. Usually we don't want to see how the sausage is made, but this is an exception. Thank you, DF. Savage Faith Creations, that is correct. That is the correct one. Smooth Drew and Tenacious Tom. New nicknames for you guys.
Smooth Drew? What was it?
Smooth Drew.
Nice.
Sausage me up is crazy.
Do you like sausage? Hot dog sausage?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I just had a hot dog yesterday.
Me too.
Did you really? Two? I had two too. I actually had 3 because I was starving when I got home.
I am not seeing this Nobel Peace Prize thing.
no, we
Don't.
so there.
No.
And then we see the answer below that, so it explains the practice script here, and then back on left, I think it does all the code.
It's very cool to see the process and how the magic happens. Reagan, thank you. Yeah, it's good time. Is it possible to do Twitch style overlays on YouTube? Might be cool to have info. Yes, we're actually working on that. We're trying to make it so that we can combine both of the overlays for both streams since we're dual streaming. Yesterday was just kind of glitching out when I tried to add them, so I couldn't. But today I'm going to try again and see if we could get it working. First time getting on live. I am Shawnee. Welcome in. This is cool seeing behind the scenes. We love it. as we like to say, we love to see how the sausage is made. Haven't had a hot dog in years? You're missing out. Such a convenient eat. Is it a sandwich? Who knows? Someone said 3 hot dogs is diabolical.
Can you give me 2 seconds?
The actual orbits that actually take into account. This is pretty close to what it looks like. If I gather my temperature, it's got the was over the restaurant. Where are we getting so wrong? Well, I suppose well, Earth and Mars transit occurs every 26 months. We're currently in a transit window approximately. The next one would be November of next year, roughly end of next year. And all goes well, SpaceX will send Starship rockets to Mars and with Optimus robots and rock. I'm curious about this combination of Tetris and Double Jewel. So it's like the Tetris, as we named it internally. So okay, we also have an output from Dr.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you. Ova says, are we going to be seeing some extra BTS, like behind the black curtain, other team members and what they do? Potentially. Maybe. Not out of the question. We've got Drew, don't worry about that inflation video. I liked seeing it early. We've got Kyle asking, can we get an update on Drew's dating life, please?
Street's still trash.
We've got James saying, what's up, TB? Loved yesterday's episode with your wife. Very eye-opening. James, Tom's pretty locked in right now, so I'm sure he'll see it later, but thank you.
Okay, intro's ready. Drew, you should look at it. Make sure it doesn't set off any alarm bells for you. I am going to go expel urine from my bladder. I did, and then I'm ready to record unless you need changes. Chad, I'll be right back.
Really needs to be its own segment. Update on the streets from Drew, and Drew's hanging out on the wrong streets.
Do you have a recommendation for streets?
La Cienega Boulevard. Akshay saying, this is cool. Thank you, Akshay. We love it. Frank saying, I appreciate Tom sharing his opinions and methodology, using strongman to prop up arguments. You disagree with? Wait, using strongman to prop up arguments you think are poor or disagree with is such a fantastic thought exercise.
Oh, but he wants to start with that, so that comes up here.
Sagro saying, love this format, gents and the one lady. Thank you.
What's it? 2.5 boys, or like 2.5 men. So it's like two. Okay, I can't do it. I tried.
No.
Oh, what's the Three's Company?
I loved that show.
For real?
Yeah.
Wasn't it like super old? You watched?
Yeah, but you know where it's filmed?
Where was it filmed?
Santa Monica.
Ah.
Yeah.
Three's Company 2.
But it's obviously flip-flopped.
Oh, because it was 2 girls. Yeah.
2 girls, 1 guy. Yeah. What streets are you hanging out on, Drew?
I'm not hanging on a street. Maybe that's the problem. I need to get out my house. All I do is work.
Oh, yes. Someone said,
back
come
my
and knock
daughter's
at my door. That's so good. Yep. Love the theme song.
All right. I am set on this as well. Eric.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to hope that my computer stays alive. But if it doesn't, I am at I'm at 48.
Well, the good thing is that we don't see this blockading at all. Like, I just see your white.
When it comes up.
Yeah. So do you want to just leave it down?
Put it on low power mode.
I'm actively streaming it. So I'm screen sharing it. So I know sometimes low power mode, they take your Wi-Fi and stuff off.
Put it up for a little bit.
Does it?
Once you're ready, if it's gonna die, just put it up.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw it down here and toss it.
I do see it there, so I don't see it. Sorry. I don't see it right here.
Copy. All
The
right.
long
I'll
live
get
stream is
Okay,
sick.
I'll get these last
Thank you, Not Your
45
Day.
seconds, then I'll drop it.
We appreciate it.
So I'll need a couple seconds to dial everything in, and then once you start.
Is the episode recording going to be live as well? It is, and then it is going to be released on Tom's YouTube channel So once it releases, don't forget to go like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, the actual, after this live is done, we're pulling it down. Because if you missed the live stream, then you missed the live stream. But the official video goes up tomorrow morning. All right, I think I have everything. We said no on Zelensky. Let me look at the intro. Make sure he didn't add in a spicy topic.
Drew, go to Houston. I think they're meaning for the streets.
Yeah. Whoever said that is in the streets. That's why you want me to go to Houston. You trying to set me up.
Drew's segues got me out of my seat once or twice, can't lie.
Dang, I need to put more effort into them. Hold on, let me actually try it. Hold on. Wait a second.
Hold on, what do you
It's a lot of
think?
pressure. You guys hyping me up now.
Drew doing what matters for the people. Someone's saying the power cable's not the end of the world. Drew, street smart. You gotta be.
He said Ashley Sinclair gets an Elon baby.
Hey. I like Houston. Good Asian food and barbecue, of course. Never been to Houston. Been to Austin though.
Really? How was Austin?
Loved it.
That's the one city in Texas I haven't been to.
Been there quite a few times. I actually was like, should I move to Austin or California? Yeah.
Yeah, South by is in Austin. We were thinking about going, but I don't think we're going this year. Okay, that is good. I need to find this Nobel Peace Prize time. Did anybody watch the Grok 3 release and knows when he talks about the Nobel Peace Prize? Because I am 40 minutes in and I haven't heard it yet.
Never over the street. Never. I don't think. Never. Drew, your shoe is untied.
Y'all can see that? No, it's... you got me.
They got you.
You got me. That was good. Well done.
So Kit Moon said, I'll try to find it. I remember it's close to the end.
That was close.
So they're going to check.
Oh, the Q&A. Okay.
Yes.
The world-class performance has been targeted by biased media.
Yep. And the next question is like, when will Grok 3 be the API? So this is coming in the Grok 3 API with both the leasing models and research is coming your way in the coming weeks. We're actually very excited about the enterprise use cases of all these additional tools that Grok has access to, and how we can actually accelerate all these use cases.
Someone said 2052.
It's the 2052 mark?
That's what someone said here in the chat. If you have a specific link with a specific time code, that would be even better. Please. Thank you.
Well, I suppose Mars transit occurs every 26 months. We're currently at transit approximately. The next one will be November of next year.
No, I thought that was when you was talking about going to Mars. I'm trying to find this Nobel Peace Prize thing, but I can't find it.
What speed is that audio?
Did I
I
not
think they're
put,
watching it at 2x.
Time
I
on
think
it?
it's 2x.
Did I not put a time on it?
Yeah, but the time code was wrong.
Sir Wicked, thank you. I appreciate that. That was very kind.
Yeah, so here he's talking about when will Grok get installed on a
It's
rocket.
when they show the graphs.
Like this one?
No. That's getting closer. Yes. Yeah, when they show the 3, I think it's around there. Yeah. So I think it's towards the end of that, but if you watch that. Yeah, I'll just put it in here. It's all good. Thank you.
Drew, I got a link for you from the chat with the time code.
For the Nobel Prize mention?
Yeah.
Let's go.
You put in Tom Bilyeu or me?
Tom Bilyeu. Tom Bilyeu. Scared Gohan, thank you for the follow.
Scared go on. Got a lot of Dragon Ball references around here. All right, Eric.
Yes.
We can go like right up to 11. That's fine. But probably get us out by 10:55 because we have somebody coming and I'm supposed to be live again. Or not live, but supposed to be filming at 11.
11:55.
Sorry. 12, yeah.
Hard stop at 11:55.
Hard stop, 11:55.
Cool. The block is 3 hours with them as well, so there's.
That's right. I think you're right. Let's go. Endurance. I hope I have a voice left.
Tom, do you like Goku or Vegeta more? Go. One word.
Goku.
Okay, there you go.
Team Vegeta.
There's your answer, John.
What was I about to do?
Goku's hair just says, "It's okay, Gohan. Dad is here, but on Twitch." That's crazy.
But on Twitch.
Sir Wicked, thank you. We got some Team Vegetas. Oh, another Goku. Goku. Okay.
Okay. I am ready. No alarms.
I need 35 seconds.
You take all the
All right, chat. They're about to get started on the rolling of the actual episode. If you're here, woo! If you're not, you're going to see it in the YouTube format, in the actual YouTube video. So they're not going to be acknowledging chat. I will not be acknowledging chat because I got to be quiet and leave pretty much. But you're going to be seeing the episode live. So
too high.
thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. We really, really appreciate it. And
Chat, we love you.
we're going to be back for the Tom Bilyeu Show on Thursday. Tom Bilyeu Show prep on Thursday. But we'll be live tomorrow as well.
It'll go off.
Bye, everybody.
What are we going to be live for tomorrow?
The
TikTok.
Oh, right, I forgot.
masterclass.
Tom YouTube replay content.
Oh, right.
chatting. Yep.
Yes. We're going to need to put live in quotes on those.
Okay, I am ready.
Let me just frame you up, Drew, just to.
Remember, guys, I usually have to record the intros multiple times, so bear with me. If we flub it, we will start over. Hopefully I don't have to repeat that too many times, as it puts it in my head that I'm going to fuck it up. But don't want you guys to be surprised. God damn, that looks good. Why are people mad? That anime looks so fucking good. Incredible that that's AI.
Are you
Incredible.
like Studio Ghibli person? Like,
I actually
Did-
know very little Studio Ghibli.
okay, you? Also, you're five. Was it 5 of them? 5 for 5. All good. All great. All his movies.
5.
Weren't they? I thought they were like 5 or something. No, there's more.
God, that man's got like 14, 15, 16.
I keep hearing about like the same 7 or something.
Do you know there was one one of their animators spent a year drawing a 4-second clip.
They do it like no other.
That's crazy.
Right.
But I don't look at that and go, "Yeah, that's amazing." I'm like, "Thank God AI is going to make that so that
You
we
look
can
at
have
it
a
like
lot
that's
more cool
inefficient.
moments like that." That's hyper inefficient. I mean, it's artistry. And don't get me wrong, it's amazing when that's your only choice. But I want to see that person's talent unleashed.
And then
And then
the Energy Dominance EO. Is there a specific moment for that one? I thought that we said that felt old, but it got a.
it flowed so well in the intro
Copy.
that I'm also very happy to bring it up, given that I think this is a big part of what drives him forward. America's back, baby.
No rolling, guys. Gonna be rolling on the actual episode. I'm saying, I'll just have to frame you up, Drew.
Oh, I'm ready.
But by the way, speaking of covering more topics, we don't have to spend a lot of time on that. So
Yeah.
make sure that you at least, like if I'm getting punchier and we've got the time, don't just end the episode, have like other things in your arsenal so that we can cover more topics.
Copy.
See what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
DJ based on how long I take on any one section. Are
Copy.
you going to record with the headphones on?
Oh snap! Haha, I might not need these, right? Episode prep bleeding
Hearing
over. Thank
Something
you,
I
sir.
don't know about?
Thank you, sir.
Beloved chat, thank you for being here with us today. Though I cannot see you, I know that you're here with us in spirit, and I appreciate it.
In spirit and in truth.
If in any moment you guys find yourselves universally railing against me, know that I still love you. We're not going to agree on everything, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm still grateful for the engagement, for you being here, being a part of this.
All right, you just your laptop, I think it's fine. Just bring it in a little more. Yep.
This is for the intro.
Yeah, just
And then where do I land? Where can I land it?
closer to you. Bring it in more. Yep, more.
I'm a little sad. I'm covering my beloved Tezuka's
Could you angle it this way?
t-shirt.
Yeah. And then bring it in.
This is getting specific.
Last time the laptop was in your medium. This is very uncomfortable, but I'll do it for the show.
I was going to say, like, don't we want you to be relaxed?
Yeah, this is very uncomfortable. But it's completely clear from the frame.
Clear from the frame. It's in Tom's medium, but it's on the edge. It's not on the tight anymore.
Can I see it on the program? Can you make it bigger?
Yeah, totally. So you can see
Drew producing.
right here. Right here.
Okay. So if it's something like this seems like it makes more sense to me
Okay.
than something like that. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at least it's a sliver versus now it's just a big square in the bottom left corner.
Yeah. That works. That works here. We can
Okay.
put it there. Yeah.
So I'm just going to open it. This is where it's going to stand. But for the intro, I'm completely out.
Copy.
All right.
I am ready.
Nice and relaxed. Nice and relaxed. These glasses need a bit of a spit shine here, Drew.
All right.
We ready?
Yep, rolling, guys.
On my mark?
On your mark.
For real, for real?
For real.
Okay.
My mic flag is
Then
good.
be ready, because as soon as I put my glasses on, we's getting to it. All right, here we go.
Ooh.
Big energy, Drew.
Woo!
Big energy.
Big
Let's
energy.
go.
Big energy.
No whammies. Here we go. Energy dominance, Drew. That's what it's about. All right, here we go. For real, for real. The Doge Chronicles continue as they spy a missing $4.7 trillion at the Treasury, sparking calls for an audit of Fort Knox. The president of Argentina gets in on the meme coin game, and it does not go well. Trump says if you save your country, you committed no crime, but I think we might benefit from some additional context on that. Grok 3 drops, and Elon thinks it's on track to win a Nobel Prize. Meta is proving AI can read minds, and Energy Dominance gets an EO. Ashley St. Clair gets an Elon baby, and Germany does its best impression of the modern Gestapo as they arrest people for, you guessed it, memes. Drew, believe it or not, this is real life.
We are here, man. 4.7 trillion. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a small number.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And we should clarify exactly what that means. So everything that the government spends, just as in your own house, you have a field in which you can say, this is what this expenditure is for. And $4.7 trillion worth of stuff has nothing written there. So they made that an optional field. I want you to imagine when you sign up for an account, like it's all required, Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to give them everything, the security code, your address, all that stuff. And the US Treasury made it optional to say what the expense was for. And the number that racks up to is $4.7 trillion. That's so crazy. Now, I don't know over what period of time that is.
Yeah.
But even if that's from the beginning of time, Drew, that's a lot of money.
I can't tell if there's like a level of ignorance or if this is just really like they don't know. Like it's getting ridiculous, because I know it's one thing to cancel a contract, it's one thing to make the U-turn on DEI, but filling in a budget item, I feel like that wouldn't be that hard. So do you think that the government is this is its first time being under the spotlight, or do you think it's just this level of incompetence?
Well, I think it's both. I think it's this level of incompetence, and because nobody's put a spotlight on it and thusly made the demand that we're going to make this better. And then because that demand has never been made, then it's just allowed to go on and on and on and on and on. Now, listen, the government is insanely complicated, and I do not want this to sound like it's easy, but there is an idea in business called velocity made good. It is the thing when people talk about why are some entrepreneurs, like Elon Musk, able to do just incredible things and other entrepreneurs are not able to get their company going. Something like 96% of all businesses fail to reach, is it $1 million? It's a distressingly low number. And velocity made good is a nautical term, and it comes from angling your sails in a way that you're able to capture the energy of the wind and point your vessel in as close to a straight line as where you're trying to go. You often have to tack back and forth in order to get the wind and get the momentum going. But the idea being that there's a big difference between generating a bunch of energy, so running the government, like there's just a lot of money flowing through the system, and actually generating momentum, like accurate directional momentum based on that energy. And when you see that level of incompetence of not doing something as simple as marking down what exactly is this expense for, you begin to understand why everybody thinks of the government as this incredibly plotting thing, that it's like the DMV at scale, that this is not a well-run organization. There's no evolutionary pressure for the organization to run well, because unlike a business, which you either can pay your employees or you cannot, the government has two tools at its disposal that will make sure that it can always pay its employees no matter how incompetent the employee is, no matter how incompetent the government is. They can, by force, extract money from you, known as taxes. They can literally put you in prison if you don't, and they can print money. So even if they're not able to create an environment in which the people can be so productive that they make more money than we spend for all of our government services, they can just make money up out of thin air, which people have heard me talk a lot about. And not only is that horrible in that it makes the rich richer and the poor poorer without asking people's permission, but you also end up with a government that is wildly inefficient and becomes the barnacles on the turtle that end up drowning the turtle.
It's ridiculous. And I'm more nervous about it because I feel like the more we uncover from government, we're going to see that it's one thing to expose the media. It's one thing to show that, okay, 60 Minutes was lying. But it's another thing to show that, wait, the government isn't as efficient and isn't as honest and like lied to me about the drones in Jersey, but like at least make sure like the systems are right. At least make sure we're not running on analog. Like I'm starting to figure out that like maybe our defense system is still a green screen like back in the day. Like I'm just nervous what else Doge is uncovering as they continue this process.
Which is why I think it is a very good idea that we're doing this. It's also why you're hearing the people that are not in power. For some reason, I feel weird saying the Democrats because I don't want to make them the villain. This is all a part of the human psyche. And when the Republicans aren't in power, they do the exact same thing. But when the team that isn't in power is just squawking about all of this stuff. Now, I do think it's twofold. I think one, they're not in power, and so they're going to be against everything the Republicans do. But then two, when you look at the DC voted something like 92 or 94% for Kamala Harris. So there is a way of doing business that the current Democratic Party has embraced that is very much bigger government, spending more money, and it is a philosophy that I think is absolutely horrific for the American people. So very interesting that once you make it a national election, you've got a very different outcome than when you look at the one area that's going to be most benefited from a tremendous amount of the government. They're going to benefit tremendously from the government being as big as possible and pumping a lot of money through the system. It tells you that the government itself as an organism is completely out of step with the rest of the nation. And so seeing people now that happen to go under the moniker of the Republicans adopting what back in the 90s under Clinton was the same strategy, which by the way was winning. They took us from at the time the biggest deficit to the biggest surplus. And my hope is that we're able to do that again.
Well, Elon's seen one empty budget item. He wants to make sure something else isn't empty. There's been a call on Twitter to have him audit Fort Knox. It started with the exchange from Zero Hedge on Twitter. He said it would be great if Elon Musk could take a look inside Fort Knox just to make sure the 4,580 tons of U.S. gold is there. Last time anyone looked was 50 years ago in 1974.
That's so
Then Elon responded, surely it's reviewed at least every year. It should be. It isn't.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. That gold's not there. I don't think it's there. Do you think we still got it?
No.
I don't think we got it either.
My instinct is that we have loaned that money out. It's not that I think it was stolen. It's that the way that you can loan it out to somebody who can loan it out to somebody who can loan it out to somebody.
Kind of like how banks do.
Yeah. It's called rehypothecation, I think. So it's crazy. People just don't understand the nature of the financial system, that so much of it is essentially vaporware. It's you have on your books that somebody owes you a brick of gold, and therefore you count it as I have this asset. But when there's 8 people in a row that all say that they have that same asset. Shout out to Peter Schiff, who gave the example of, imagine you have a candy bar, and you loan that candy bar out to somebody who loans that candy bar out to somebody who loans that candy bar out to somebody who loans that candy bar out to somebody who finally eats it. And now you've got a whole bunch of people that are like, wait, where's my candy bar? And so now the person who ate it's got to go buy another candy bar to repay. So my gut instinct, I don't know this is pure conjecture, but my gut instinct is some very distressing percentage of that gold is not physically in Fort Knox, which is how the system works. So I don't want people to be like, oh my God, this is fraud, this is theft. This is the system. And you're now potentially seeing, because what's happening right now, this is going to be a very complicated answer. And so I want everybody to understand this is only one reason amongst many others why this is happening. But right now there's like a bunch of people just doing a run on gold. And so you have the potential for a literal run on gold where you can have enough people put in their IOU for that candy bar, only for everybody down the line to be like, wait. There is no candy bar till you finally get to the guy who's like, damn, I ate it, but I'm going to have to go like buy a new one. And if they're unable to get it, now you have a whole bunch of people that are like, wait a second, where the asset that I have is your debt. And that person is saying, I can't pay that debt. And so this is exactly how banks collapse. I think people will be freaked out just as when they look at commercial banking, they'll realize that most small banks, and let me scrap that. Every bank on planet Earth is functionally insolvent. And that's why bank runs are always this looming fear. And the reality is just not everybody needs their money all at once. But the second people have a reason to say, I want my money back, if enough people do it at once, you run into banking crisis. And this was the whole thing. This was about a year ago when Silicon Valley Bank went under. So if we find that we have that with Fort Knox, you're going to have a lot of people feel very insecure, and you never want people feeling insecure about the banking system.
I was going to save this for Conspiracy Corner, but since we're talking about it, I'm going to bring it up now. This is coming from Walker America on X. He said, here's what's going to happen. Elon pushes Trump to audit Fort Knox. Then the audit reveals that there's less than 500 tons of gold. What's supposed to be in there is 44,580.
I don't think it's 44,000, right? It's 4,800 and something.
Yeah, 4,580.
There we go.
Trump realizes China and Russia have way more gold than the U.S., but very little Bitcoin. Trump issues EO for strategic Bitcoin reserve, citing national security. Money printer go brrr, and U.S. buys as much Bitcoin as the market will sell. Price of gold collapses in BTC terms. China and Russia realize Trump got the jump on them and start trying to acquire Bitcoin. Price of gold collapses further. Peter Schiff is admitted to a mental. What's your take?
I mean, that's a Bitcoiner. So it's like, look, that is a plausible scenario. Like if those, between each of those points, there's probably 7 steps that have to happen. So, but it is a very plausible chain of events. I just doubt very much you're going to see anything like that. It'll be a bunch of fractaling trees. So it'll be like, you audit it and there's less gold, but it's not 500. Trump realizes that China, Russia, and a bunch of central banks have been buying up gold, but very little Bitcoin. Maybe he looks at our strategic reserve or looks at the amount of Bitcoin we have and goes, let's make it a strategic reserve. But he doesn't turn on the printer because I like to think myself and a whole lot of other people would start screaming, holy hell, if he's printing money. And I don't give a fuck if he's doing it to buy Bitcoin, because now you are saying, dear poor people, fuck you. We're going to buy a bunch of Bitcoin and we're just going to take the purchasing power from you. That would be so outrageous. Wow, would myself and a lot of other people be excruciatingly angry. That's the kind of thing that I yell and scream about, that I go to Washington, D.C., stand on somebody's lawn saying, yo, this is fucked up. So yeah, I really like step 5 alone would unleash holy hell from a lot of people. And it is literally the most cynical thing in the universe to say money print to buy Bitcoin, because that makes it sound like Americans are just going to default, be advantaged by it, which they're not. And even if look, I want to see America win, but let me think about this. Would the global poor get battered? The global poor doesn't directly own US debt, but their country does. It just seems like it could be devastating. It's immoral to do. So whether it ends up being devastating outside of the US or not, it's immoral. And I would have to hear so much more about like, what is the US doing with the Bitcoin that it buys? Because look, there is a fantasy that you could spin about, we're going to do this. It'll become part of the strategic wealth fund, not strategic, the sovereign wealth fund for the US. And we can make this good for Americans. It's too fucking risky. That feels like Sam Bankman-Fried to me. No, don't worry. I know I'm spending your money, but I'm going to spend it in good ways. Now, the bad news is, I think if you count the receipts, Sam actually did it. Like if they had just left him the fuck alone, he would have been able to pay everybody back. But everybody agrees, you can't fucking do that. And so if you can't do it at the company level, you should not be able to do it at the country level. It's just as fucking risky. So ipso facto, that's where it was at. Oh, if you guys were here for the episode prep, you would be in on that inside joke, which reminder to join us live for episode prep Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m.
Awesome. Next, in AI news, Grok 3 released. It shows some of its benchmarks dominating DeepSeek, Gemini, and O3 Mini. And Elon made a interesting assumption of what he sees the future of AI happening.
What is your neural net calculate? So my bold prediction, so 3 years ago I told you that I think now 2 years later, two things are gonna happen. We're gonna see machines with some metals. Yes.
Pause it for a sec. So I think you and I decide. I think we should watch these at 1x. I know I'm the one that said always 2, so that we can comment on it while we go. What do you think? Or do you prefer just dropping in the full?
I never watch 2x. I go like 175 at the highest. So it's been going over my head this whole time.
Oh, cool. Let's drop it to 1. The audience can listen along. That way people listening at home right now are with us and we can just comment on these as we go.
Can you turn up, Eric?
2 years later, two things are gonna happen. We're gonna see machines win some medals. Yes. Turing's Award. Absolutely. Fields Medal, Nobel Prize. With probably.
All right, stop it for a sec. I want to make sure that I know what the Fields Medal is, but I'm almost certain it is for novel solutions to mathematics, which, if I'm correct, I'm just going to search on Grok. If I'm correct about that, all right, the Fields Medal is a prestigious international award given to mathematicians under the age of 40 for their outstanding contributions to the field of mathematics, often described as the Nobel Prize of Mathematics. It was first awarded in 1936 and is presented every 4 years at the International. Okay, so this is for doing something that hasn't been done. Like you've got a breakthrough or an insight into mathematics that that is really helping to shape the entire field of mathematics. Now, imagine that's coming from AI. Now, imagine how scalable that is. So you can just scale AI, scale. To give you an idea, Jensen Huang at NVIDIA has made for $500 something that runs their entire AI. So now, how many of those can you spin up? 1 million? More? So now, more in fact. So now you're dealing with something where you can put that level of intelligence, especially as the inference side of this gets better. So the model, hard part. Inference, far easier, certainly cheaper. And if you have 1 million people who are capable of winning the Fields Medal, dude, this is how things start advancing really quickly.
You put them all like in a room type thing.
Yeah. So imagine, like when I've said, look, AI on a long enough timeline drives energy costs to zero. But when I say that, I mean it's going to have breakthroughs. Yeah. And the reason that I get very excited about anybody who talks about AI should be maximally truth-seeking, meaning getting to the physics of things, like actually understanding the nature of mathematics, understanding the nature of physics. Now you can have breakthroughs that we haven't had before, and breakthroughs unlock things. They make things possible that weren't previously possible. So now you really do enter an age of abundance if we're able to do that. So anyway, hit play, because Elon goes on to he makes a crazy claim, I think, but.
Right, so the expert uplifting.
Do you mean, so this year or next year?
Okay.
That's what it comes down to, really.
Yeah.
So
it looks like
I so wanted the other guy to answer that, like whether does he really think it's going to happen that fast? Pause it for a second. Because look, Elon is notoriously terrible at timelines, but even if he's off by a factor of 5, off of his outside estimate of 2 years, that's only 10 years, man.
In 10 years.
In 10 years, to have 1 million, 5 million, 10 million of these brains capable of generating those kind of insights, it will require inference to get very good. But whoa. That's crazy advancement. That's 20,000 years of advancement in an afternoon. Like really, I mean that literally. So crazy.
I'm looking forward to it because I actually want to see the problems get solved now. Like, I like that AI can order me a pizza. I like that it can stay on hold for me. But now it's like, okay, if you can win the Fields Medal, if you can get the Nobel Peace Prize, I need 6 of you to get together in a room and teach us how we can get to Mars. I need 6 of you to get into a room and teach us how we can drive, like how we can have clean water in third world countries. Like, let's actually start turning the corner with the intelligence. Yeah. So I'm excited for that part of it. If winning the medal means that they will then be able to solve those novel problems.
They will be able to. I want you to imagine this is the AI in Africa that's going to teach you how to do clean water. You get access to an iPad that whatever. Like, I'm not saying those are free, but you can get an outdated one that's pretty cheap. Access a model that's open source, which my boy Emad Mostak is working as furiously as he can to make sure that everybody, everywhere, all at once has access to AI. You go and say, how do you build a well? Boom, it gives you the answers. And then you go, okay, 17 of those parts we don't have here. Please scour the web for the cheapest version of that. And it will give it to you. Or connect me with the NGOs that'll donate the money, whatever. And now you're able to be self-sufficient. It teaches you how to do it. It helps you find the cheapest parts or recycle things. Like, you give it a photo of like, here's a broken down moped that we have. How do we turn this into clean water? It will actually be able to do that. Not today, but like when you've got, if this is true, and a few years from now, let's just go all the way to 10, 10 years from now, you've got something capable of winning the Fields Medal. Dude, show it a picture of the 17 pieces of rusty metal that you have, and it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do, what to look for the highest likelihood of striking water. I mean, it's just nuts.
And I know you're excited for this next announcement because then Elon also threw his hat into the game development ring. So where we're going to see that progress on, solving physics problems, solving math problems, it seems like he also wants to scale Grok to help him develop video games, which is going to definitely help with the Kaizen project.
We hope. So I don't know what he's going to do. So I don't know if he's going to close source this. With Grok, anyway, he said every time we get a fully stable version, we'll open source the previous version. So once Grok is fully stable, Grok 3 is fully stable, then they'll release Grok 2. So he said he thinks that it'll be stable, I think, within 6 months. So 6 months from now, Grok 2 becomes open source. I mean, if he does that on the gaming side, that would be absolutely mind-blowing. Yeah. Now, again, I don't know exactly what their approach is going to be. Are they making really basic games? So the example that they gave was a mixture of, Bejeweled and Tetris. And that kind of stuff is a very simple form of gaming. So I don't know if that's what he's trying to do, like solve really simple problems, or if he's going to get it to create a physics engine inside of the game. Because if you get all your rendering handled and your physics engine, if you can create, rig, animate, drop into a physics engine all with AI, dude, anybody that's tried to develop a game understands it takes a whole lot of people, a whole lot of time. And if you could just go, give me a physics engine that matches Fortnite with the aesthetics of Elden Ring, whatever. And now it's like, boom, you get the characters move just like they move in Fortnite, but you have the difficult sort of puzzle solving against the enemies that you have in Elden Ring, or the scale of the world, like whatever you want to tell it. Oh my God. Drew, if it's doing it based on physics, that's the thing. Like anybody that, and I found this here at Impact Theory, people's base assumption is, oh, I try it for 5 minutes. It doesn't give me an output that I can just copy and paste. AI is broken. No. You've got to go in, you've got to work with it. You've got to understand its weaknesses. You have to know what it does well, what it does poorly, work around it, know how you combine different AIs, know how you bring your own intelligence, your own taste to it, to really make it great. But over a weekend, I went from like, dude, the AI is trash. It can't output anything usable visually, to like, hold the fucking phone. Now I'm able to get this really close to things that it would take us, let's say, a week to do. I'm in a single prompt.
Nice.
That's nuts. So if they're able to not only make that kind of physics engine, which I'll make as a stand-in for all the different elements that I just laid out, and they open source it, or like with Unreal Engine, the way that they charge is basically they only make money if you're making money. Now you're getting into something where you can generate incredible games very fast iterate on them to make them deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
Let your own community through UGC fractal those things so that they can do like a branching leaf off of that. It's going to be an incredible moment for micro communities, because you'll be able to have a micro community that is as content rich as only the biggest games are now.
Yeah. It's interesting to see the future of gaming with AI, but they're already starting, because we just seen this Massimo tweet that shows researchers placed 1,000 AI agents inside a Minecraft server, and they developed their own civilization with government, culture, and economy. Run by California-based startup Altera, the project that had AI agents collaborating to create virtual societies.
Crazy.
This is the part that kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies with AI. Is that
Why
is
heebie-jeebies?
it duplicating what humans do, which is create government, culture, and economy, or is that the best way that things have been done? So I'm trying to figure out, are they just kind of copying us with their own free will, or is that like the super intelligent thing to do inside of this like platform?
Okay, here's how I know we're living in a simulation. When you start building a game, you realize you're just trying to replicate everything in the world, even if you want to make it alien.
Mm-hmm.
So the temperature of the planet is wildly different, and therefore the flora and the fauna are wildly different.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you even come up with something different than DNA, but you have to have, you suddenly realize that the way the world is how you have to build it. So meaning you keep wanting to push the intelligence deeper and deeper. I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised. And so you start going like, this is one thing we're doing in Project Kaizen, which is the video game we're building. You start saying, okay, my whole thing is I played Fortnite and Minecraft, obsessed with both of those games. And I tried to make a biome inside of Fortnite, inside of Minecraft, where I took a mountain biome and made it a plains biome, because different things happen in those places. And so I thought, if I cut down all the trees and make it like a plains biome, it will trigger plains biome-like stuff happening. And I realized it doesn't work. They've obviously put somewhere deep in the code, once you're a mountain biome, that's it forever, no matter what surface looks like, you are mountain biome, period, end story. I was very disappointed by that, because I wanted to terraform. I wanted to cause all this downstream chain of things to happen, just like we can in real life. So in real life, if you plant a bunch of trees, it's going to change the ecology around you. So greening of the deserts, we've seen people do this kind of thing. Playing in Fortnite, I beat it and I just get an umbrella. Very disappointing. I want the thing that I win to really matter. So, okay, cool. We're trying to bring those two things together. And so now you start saying, I want to push that intelligence down as far as I can. I want to be surprised. I want things to happen that I never would have predicted. And so you start going, okay, well, what if things mated, right? So the reason that humans use sex for mating instead of cloning, because there are organisms that clone. So why don't humans clone? Because you realize that as you drive this stuff deeper and deeper, deeper down, you end up with a gazillion microbes living in your gut. Now, you don't really think about it in your day-to-day life, but if you're programming this thing and you're trying to push the intelligence down as far as you can, you start saying, well, I want different things to happen if this creature eats this thing versus this thing. And I want different things to happen if they live in this region, they encounter these microbes, and they eat this thing. And so then what different cultures will arise? I want to be maximally surprised, right? And to get that kind of, I never would have imagined this. You've got to push that intelligence down as far as you can, all the way to, like humans, you're essentially a bunch of cells competing antagonistically against each other, but you come together in this whole that you call Tom or Drew, and you have this common objective for a period of time, and then you die, right? So as you start doing game development, you just constantly are going back to, well, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? How far down can you push the intelligence to get these incredible, beautiful, surprising things like space travel? And you just go, oh my God. You're literally, by thinking from first principles, you literally find yourself replicating this world. Now, not one for one, but you find yourself going, oh, these questions have already been answered, and the answer is the world that I see. And so when I look at something like this, they're not necessarily trying to build civilizations, but as you code the AI, you're saying to yourself, okay, well, how do I get the AI to do things that are functional and they don't just like walk into a wall forever? So then you start going, oh, okay, well, I've got to give them incentives. They've got to want one thing over another. Okay, well, what thing should they want? And you start saying, well, if they don't cooperate, they'll just kill each other. So, okay, we've got to have some way of getting them to cooperate. And so now all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm reinventing organisms. It's fucking crazy. Now I get it. We have the frame of reference of a human. And so there's a lot of our assumptions that just come from what we already are.
Yeah.
But, buddy, like even think about, you want to build the universe. Okay, well, for how do you get atoms to coalesce? You want them to replicate? Like that's going to be more interesting. You want a high change environment, right? Yeah. So it's like, well, how do you get a high change environment in a way that yields something interesting? And so you start coding all these rules. And that's why when people look at the universe, they go, hold on a second. There are certain variables that are so precise that if those variables are changed even by a tiny like 0.00000000001%, like the whole universe falls apart. That's so precise. No way. Yeah. This is somebody click-clacking on a keyboard somewhere. Now, that's obviously not literally true, but it does make you wonder. So anyway, to answer the actual question you asked, when you're trying to push that intelligence lower, you end up realizing that we function like the very things that when you're just trying to create something interesting emerges. So they're emergent properties, Drew.
I was going to push on the creator thing.
Please.
Because it's like you said, it seems like there's somebody behind everything, like just click-clacking. Or maybe there's somebody who put it all together in the beginning.
Yeah, like God?
Yes.
Yeah. Look, okay. I'm not religious. I don't believe in God. Now, when I say that, what I mean is the vision that people have captured in religious texts is almost certainly not accurate. Now, okay, let me give you one stat why I think that's true. Nowhere in the Bible does it say you're not living in a locally real universe. But that is true. And we can prove it. Meaning, a very simplistic way of saying this that is going to make all the physicists roll in their fucking graves. But is to say that you don't render the universe unless you're looking at it. So if you were the only person in the universe and you turn away from something, that thing is literally a probability cloud, okay? Quantum physics. When you look at it, then now it has to collapse down into a single position. So it goes from superposition to like a known measured position. That's not mentioned in the Bible.
It's so in a different way. It's not called physics, and it's not.
But that's what I'm saying.
Clouds,
so the only thing I push back on, there's clearly something. Why something instead of nothing? That's the ultimate question, right? We exist. We know there's something, even if I'm a dream in somebody else's head. I know it exists. So I don't think we've captured it in the right way. And I don't want my imagination limited by the very useful thing that is religion, but set that aside. I want to remain open to what the real answer is. So I stand in awe of the universe, knowing there's something, we could call it a creator, whatever. I just don't think that humans know what that thing is.
Have you seen Men in Black? I think they nailed it at the end when they say that our whole galaxy is just a marble in a very big like.
I think it was our whole universe, wasn't
it? Yeah, like it was like that was like it's crazy,
bro.
100%. Well, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in AI world. This is a rendering that imitates Studio Ghibli's iconic classical style. People hate it. The comments aren't nice.
I want to get naked, smear myself in butter, and just watch this over and over and over. Not everybody likes this, Drew, but I do. This is so incredible. Get the butter, Drew.
I didn't need that visual because we didn't need this. We didn't need to get naked.
We all need.
We didn't need the butter.
Especially the butter. But this is amazing.
But this is going back to what we said off camera. Like, art is supposed to inspire other art. So, can you own an art style? Like, is that supposed to be you, or is that the ultimate compliment that people want to duplicate it?
I get why people are furious.
Yeah.
There is a guy named Mache Kusiera who we worked with back on Neon Future, the comic book, and he did some art for Steve Aoki and I. Breathtaking. That dude is unbelievably talented. And I won't lie. over the weekend, he sent me some stuff that he's doing with AI. And I was a little sad that this was no longer him like painstakingly making these incredible works of art. Now, he'll be the first to tell you, he's just stealing from 90s anime. He's just literally, his style is 90s anime style. But like there is something a little different about it. And I couldn't love his style anymore if I tried. I mean, just unbelievable. So I'm glad that he was able to learn from 90s anime artists and turn that into something new. There's no doubt 90s anime people would look at him and be like, bro, you're just like ripping us off, which he would also admit. But he put enough on it that it's beautiful, and knowing that a human did it and all that, there is a part of me that still responds to that. So I get where people are coming from of like, you don't want to see somebody now be able to go, dear AI, make me that thing that looks exactly like Mache Kusiera. Just like people are saying, hey, I hate that AI is able to make something like Miyazaki would make it, which is the style that we were showing there from Studio Ghibli. And so I get it. The reason that I want to smear myself in butter, because I am so turned on by this, is that it unleashes a level of efficiency. So there is a 4-second shot from one of Miyazaki's films, I don't remember which one, that took an animator a year to do.
Sheesh.
And I understand the human impulse to be like, this is such a work of art that they would suffer and work that hard to create that thing. But the reality is when I watch it, it goes by in 4 seconds and like whatever. So I would much rather people be able to tell stories that get inside my soul and make me see the world differently. And so I want to unleash them to where it becomes about taste, it becomes about commentary, it becomes about doing the thing to me that I wanted to do, which is to manipulate my brain chemistry, give me an insight, make me feel something. That's what I want.
Yeah.
And so I get the sideshow of it all is like, oh, this was made by a human and it was really hard. And there is something there. There is value in that. But the vitriol of this, I think, misses the point. And the same people that get mad seeing anime in particular being so faithfully recreated are the ones that are like, you got to pay animators more. There's no money. There's no money. There's no money to pay them more. Like, this is why all the animators, specifically in anime, have to do everything in consortiums, because it's this niche, beautiful, incredibly painstaking, incredibly expensive art form. And you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can either grind the humans into the dirt because it is so hard to do that you just have to pay them like essentially less than minimum wage to work 36 hours a day, so we can all like consume this shit like candy. And I'm going to bet some of the people squawking the loudest watch this shit at like 1.5. Some of them even watch it at 2x, because part of anime culture is to just take in every episode that you can. So it's like, listen, I think the far wiser way to look at it is this is going to unleash creativity. And now an artist who would have otherwise like toiled in obscurity for 20 years, not been able to make ends meet, is now going to be able to tell these breathtaking stories. So I would love to see some way where when people's work is so clearly being aped, like this literally just looks like it's straight out of Miyazaki's DNA, get financially rewarded for that in some way, or that this becomes open source. I don't know. We have to think about what the final answer is, but being mad that people are doing it is the wrong take aggressively.
Yeah. I just wish we could get into people's brains sometimes, but that's what Meta's trying to do now.
Heyo.
This
one's crazy.
They just published 2 papers showing that they can decode thoughts into text with 80% accuracy.
Drew, it's 2025. Will you read that sentence again, please?
80% accuracy is crazy to me.
They can read
80% like, and it's not invasive. I hid the lead there with that. Like, it's not like they have to drill into your mind and like plant something. You're just wearing sensors and they can get it 80%. Like, that's better than Siri sometimes. Like, this is crazy.
Dude, Siri is a just emotionally, intellectually crippled child. Like, good Lord. Siri needs an upgrade big time.
I know we got with everything that Elon's doing with Neuralink, but I feel like this could be a game changer. I'm thinking about, kids that can't, are kids who are like late speech. I'm thinking about kids who might be on the spectrum, people who might be neurologically divergent. This can essentially be a way to communicate with them straightforward. With like, this can change lives. Like, this is kind of crazy.
This is Crazy. Yeah, this one's going to be big. So they're calling it thought to action. So you think a thing and then it's as if you typed on the keyboard or moved the mouse or whatever. This is going to be truly unbelievable, but it also gets dystopian really fast. So this is one of those ones where we're going to have some kind of laws about how this can be used against you. So just like you have the right to plead the fifth and say, I'm not going to do anything that's self-incriminating, you should have the right to refuse to let this be used on you. And because, man.
like in like a confession type situation or like an
interrogation. Put the thing on him, show him images, say whatever, and see how they respond. That gets dystopian and dark very, very, very fast. So look, this stuff isn't all upside. We do have to be thoughtful. This is going to require some, like, imagine somebody hacking into that shit. Like, woof. I do not need somebody hacking into a stream of my thinking. Not a fan. But being able to have something like this that allows, it could allow things like, if you can do it on humans, you can do it on pets. Like, imagine being able to effectively communicate with your pet. Like, this is nuts. Like the dog, they're looking at you, their tail's vibrating like crazy. And the AI is like, oh, they want the ball, they want the food, they, whatever. Oh my God.
But okay. So like, I know when I think, I say it in my head and then I kind of, there's that like process. Do you think dogs are talking in their head?
No, definitely not.
So you think it's just like silence?
You
said read the dog's mind.
Have you ever gotten into a flow state?
Like when you're just like locked in?
Yeah, you're just doing the thing. You're not thinking. Bruce Lee has a quote, I kick to the point where I don't think kick, I just kick. So I think that's where animals are. They're having as far as I can tell, they're having a very rich emotional life. They are, in fact, my daughter was, she was hurt last night, like emotionally hurt. And she did a naughty thing. And so she got locked up. And when I let her out, she was just sad. And she made me come pick her up and then took her into the bedroom to see her mommy. And then it was like slowly she warmed up and wanted kisses. And I'm like, this dog is having an emotional experience. So it's not like they're thinking in English, although they may know words like, I know that treats, my dogs know that word. So they possibly are thinking something like that. But it's more just imagery, emotion, feeling. But to a scanner, it's just pattern. So it's not like the scanner sees words. The scanner just sees a pattern that it knows, oh, every time you think that, you then type this. Cool. I now know that pattern represents the word, whatever. When they're playing a video game, the Neuralink guys, I know when you think this way, you want to move left or you want to move right, whatever. Yeah. So it would be like that. Anyway, I didn't mean to make this about telepathy with dogs, but there are incredible applications. There are also very dark, sinister applications that we will need to protect ourselves from.
All right. And this one you kind of threw on my radar. In world affairs and politics news, Trump tweeted yesterday or a couple of days ago, he who saves his country does not violate any law.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's this like saves makes it weird for me.
Bro, I'm going to need some definitions.
Yeah.
I'm going to need some context because let me tell you, I am the biggest. Trump is not Hitler. Trump is not Hitler. I cannot say that emphatically enough. Trump is not Hitler. But this is the kind of logic that gets people in trouble.
That's
like, because Hitler would have said, well, I save my country. What the problem is, everybody? you just stuff a few million people into concentration camps. You gas a few. We're good, right? How come, bro? So you got to be real careful with that. So look, I love a lot of things about Donald Trump. I am very excited about what he's doing to the government. And at the same time, I trust him as far as I can fucking throw him. And not even that he's lying, though I'm sure every fucking politician ever has lied nonstop. It's that this is flawed thinking and you have to be psychotically careful. This is why I say people need to distrust themselves. And Trump is just a guy who does not distrust himself. So I have enough distrust for the both of us, Donald. So this is where I want people to understand I'm not on a team. Like somebody put in the comment section yesterday, Tom, you're rapidly losing your, say leftist, your left credentials. Something like that.
like
and
the
I was like,
card.
you can have it. So I'm not trying to be on a team. I'm trying to say that it is figure outable whether given action leads to positive outcome or not. We've seen people run this experiment before where it's like only the outcome matters. Nope. Bad. First of all, who the fuck gets to do the read on the outcome? So anyway, that level of thinking is problematic. I don't think it's unique to him in any way, shape, or form, but that's the kind of shit that we have to be on the lookout for. 234 million views. Holy shit. People felt some kind of way about this. Damn. So, yeah. This is the one that you look out for, Drew.
Yeah.
That is the one that you watch out for. This is why we want checks and balances in our government. Yay. If this is the like downside, everything's trade-offs.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a guy like Trump, not afraid to go in, break things, move fast, like finally fight for the average American worker, love him for it. And if the downside is there's also parts of his thinking that are insane and could cause real fucking problems, that's where we go. That's why the founders of this country were like, hey, we have to protect against this kind of shit. So I don't think he's evil, but I do think that that is a dysfunctional way to think.
I'm just glad that he has the right to think it and that we embrace free speech.
Facts.
Where in other countries, not so much. Germany just had a 60 minutes special last week that just aired that literally is following them arresting people for memes they post, tweets they post, online activity. I can't make sense of it because it's one thing. Again, we talked about this last week with the Kanye Twitter rant where it's like, okay, it's one thing to go cause for violence. Like I tweeted they're going to assassinate Elon Musk because of after the Pentagon. AI might have read that like I'm trying to assassinate Elon Musk. I got blocked. Cool. I'll be in Twitter jail. I'll take that L. But the things that they're cracking down on like memes and they're like, it seems as if it's one thing to say the Nazis should come back. Let's go burn a village down. And it's another thing to just reshare like a picture. Like, there has to be a line here, right? Like this can't be normal. This is weird.
This is so far from the line. This is crazy. This isn't sliding towards totalitarianism. This is totalitarianism. It's degrees of. It's not like they run the whole country in this sort of ham-fisted way, but this is terrible. This isn't bad thinking. This is bad policy. This is aggressively bad policy. And somebody said, we don't have the clip, but somebody said the Holocaust is because of free speech. Bitch, please. That is the craziest shit ever. That is a moronic thing to say. What happens is it goes like this. You have free speech, and in the world of free speech, you start putting forward hateful rhetoric. Or you start saying, hey, we should crack down on people that are posting memes that we think are mean or hurtful or whatever. And so then people go, ooh, I really like that idea. Yes, we should take free speech away from people. And then you institute a totalitarian government to make sure that people don't have free speech. But let's be clear. It was not the free speech that forced people to show up at your door, raid your house, and put you in jail for what you said. It was the fact that they used free speech to then get in a position where they could take it away from you. So this is the messy reality of being a human. There are always, in a human society, there are always going to be problems like this. And this is why at Impact Theory, we have something that we call principles. This is a Ray Dalio concept where you give everybody dots. You say whatever you think is true so the entire company can criticize me and say I'm doing a bad job as a CEO. That's perfectly fine. Nobody's going to get fired for that. I need people that help me remove my blind spots. And I say, you can say anything you want. You can campaign for anything you want. The only thing that you can't do is actually eliminate principles. So no matter how much you hate it, principles is going to stay. So it's foundational, it's bedrock, it's not going anywhere. Even if all of you vote and say, we hate this, it's got to go. Nope, it's the one hard and fast. So because it is the thing from which all of the other good things spring. So this is why freedom of speech matters so much, is so foundational. Now, I'm perfectly happy with the limitations that we have. No incitement for violence, terror recruitment, blah, blah, blah. Fine. However, this is getting stupid. In the UK is doing this shit. Germany is doing this. This is nuts. And this is exactly how you get people to shut up and not say what they think is true. And if you want to know where that goes, watch the HBO docuseries Chernobyl. Oh my goodness.
Such a good show.
Unbelievable.
Such a good show.
Unbelievable. And that's what happens when you force everybody to lie.
Yeah.
Mojo.
Unfortunately, I lost access to the laptop.
Nice.
Eric on the ones and twos. He's gonna click us there because Eric is the man.
Eric's got us. Let's go, Eric.
Boom. Oh, your boy Mile.
Oh, good Lord.
Talk about a pump and dump. He retweeted the Libra coin. It went up, then he sold off.
Yeah.
Left a bunch of bag holders. You talked about the dangers of meme coins already. Is he in the wrong for this? Do you think that
You live by the meme coin, you die by the meme coin. Meme coins, I think meme coins should be legal. I think everybody should be able to do what they want with meme coins. But if you fuck with meme coins, this is their nature. Meme coins is gambling. Meme coins is gambling on culture. I believe you should absolutely be able to gamble on culture. I think you should be able to gamble on anything you want. And does that mean that that people who are either extremely emotionally reactive, meaning they get very excited and they can't stop themselves from taking an action, or they don't have the cognitive horsepower and therefore are going to get themselves in trouble? Is that going to happen? Yes, it is. Do I think that meme coin should have some regulation around it? Yeah, light touch, but I think it is pretty disgusting that the way it works when you have money printing is you must buy assets in order to get ahead. They've created I'm glad. This is what I'm about to say is a good thing. A whole bunch of very smart people over the last, 100+ years have created the capitalist system of like the stock markets and things like that as a function of raising capital. So basically saying, I know people are going to gamble. Let me let them gamble so that companies can acquire that capital and do incredible things with it. It's beautiful. It has pulled people out of poverty. It is just gorgeous in the extreme. But when people start acting like they have no responsibility in that system, that's where we have the problem. So we both have, they're forcing you into the system by inflating your money away. They won't acknowledge it as gambling, which is why I beat this fucking drum to the point where my community gets mad that I refer to it as gambling. Case and fucking point with meme coins. Now, should a president lose sight of the fact that they are the president and their words carry extra weight? I think that they should have an internal locus of, they should have an internal value set that says, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. If I were him, I'd be like, bro, don't do it. Just like Trump should not have done. Should not from I don't think it should be illegal. Fine, fucking do it. But it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Like I was going to wear a white glove today and I knew people would have a stroke. I think it looks cool, and I am going to do it at some point, if for no other reason than to troll people. But there's a difference between something that's just bad taste versus something that should be illegal. So there should probably be disclosures of some kind so people know what it is, who owns what, blah, blah, blah. But guys, meme coins is quite literally a thing you do to catch the pump and get out before the dump. That is the game of meme coins. That's what they are. They are tied to nothing. It's just not true. They are tied to cultural energy. And you're saying, I have a better read on this cultural energy than the next person. I'm a big influencer and I can get people to be really excited about this thing. And I get them excited and then I'm going to either slowly or quickly get out. And so what I don't understand is how people keep acting like that's not the fucking game. So anyway, I had my early experience with all this where I thought that NFTs, which aren't meme coins, but that kind of thing was going to attract collectors. And I just learned, oh, cool. It doesn't attract collectors. It attracts gamblers. Now I know. And so the world just has to wake up. This is the reality. So I think it's a bad look for Mile. It's at least at my distance. I don't follow him super closely. It's the first thing that I was like, yeah. I hate everything about that. But again, don't think it should be illegal. I think he's right in that you want to fuck with meme coins? Good luck. You're probably going to lose your money. Like 95% of people. I think this is if this isn't literally true, this is so close that we'll just call it directionally accurate. 95% of people lose their money, 5% make their money.
Yeah, all my meme coins are red, so I might be in that 95%.
You have to pay so deep attention to culture. You've got to be in all the private groups about what people are talking about, what they see moving so that you can move fast. It's the game. I don't like it. I'm not going to play it, but whatever. I think people should be able to, but I also think they should own their L's.
Speaking of owning L's, let's just watch this.
Oh God!
No context.
This is so brutal.
Let's just watch it.
No
I didn't hear the background noise the first time.
Yeah.
Cheater! Look at the cheater. Turn around for your fans. He had a 2-year affair while I had his second baby. We intentionally had a second baby, and he was having an affair the whole time. Feel free.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right.
Everything about this makes me sad. It makes me sad. Okay, let's walk through why this makes me sad. Okay, cheating on your spouse, I think, is horrible. What makes love the wonderful thing that it is, marriage, committed relationship. What makes it wonderful is that life is hard, and you're now going to have a partner in all the ways that that word carries weight. You're going to have a partner that is going to help you. You're going to help them. You've got somebody for whom, at least until you have kids, you're their number one. And it's one of the primary mechanisms by which we bring kids into this world. One of the greatest gifts that you can give to humanity. When you betray that trust by the ultimate betrayal for both men and women for different reasons is, for women, it's more hardcore if it's emotional, but to have an affair, for men, it's more painful if it's sexual. But having that affair it takes the foundation upon which all of that like joint living and the sacrifices that you make for each other and all the compromises you have to do, and it recontextualizes it. And it says, oh, wow, all those times that I really thought this person was giving me a look that said I'm special to them, I'm their number one. It wasn't real. Like it was a performance. And once you make a performance of your own narrative of what your life was, that is a deep pit. So I hate that. I also hate that she just wants to punish him. So she is in a moment of vitriol, vengeance. And read Man's Search for Meaning. There's an incredible moment in that book where Auschwitz gets liberated and they're walking out of the camp. And the guy that wrote the book said, he was talking to one of his fellow prisoners who said, by the end of tonight, I will have the blood of German soldiers on my hands. Meaning I'm going to go murder somebody today. I'm not waiting a week or a month, today. And he was like, that's the wrong response. The guy that wrote the book.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you give into that, if you let your hate define you and you go seek vengeance, that's what you're telling yourself is the most important. If, on the other hand, you instead go look for those that you love and you immediately begin to reconnect, to love again, to seek the beauty, you've got a shot of getting on the other side of this.
Yeah.
And so I get her devastation and I get the impulse for vengeance. I have the impulse for vengeance. This is where I say, don't trust yourself. So I hate that about it. I also hate that they're trying to stay together. And so he's allowing himself, he made this mistake, but he's allowing himself to be torn down and humiliated by the person that he's living this life with for reasons I understand, but he's allowing himself to be diminished as an act of penance, to be punished, but it won't work because what she's leaning into is the vengeance, the hatred, the anger. And the only way a couple's ever going to get to the other side of this is if you can forgive and like actually let it go. Now, I'll be honest. This is just me. I think you break something that can't be unbroken when fidelity is involved. And I don't understand why somebody would want to try to move forward. In that context, I would just say devastating. But the thing that makes the relationship worth all the sacrifices is forever gone. Now, if people have done it and gotten on the other side, great. They're just not, they don't have the same frame of reference I have.
Yeah.
So I love it. And if people have been able to do it and their lives are amazing, I'm totally here for it. I certainly don't have any moral judgment. But when I look at these two, I'm just like, this is going to be fucking horrendous for the next God knows how many years.
Yeah.
This is not going to be a loving marriage. This is going to be her essentially testing how much pain and humiliation will he tolerate, and she will someday realize it will never quench what she feels.
It's never gonna help.
Yeah, because what she wants is somebody that loves her and will sacrifice for her and be there for her and all of that. And it's just, she's never going to get that by punishing him. So anyway, I just hate everything about that.
Yeah, I feel like this entire video could be summed up as like an emotional decision. Like, yes, you got your licks off. Yes, he's walking around embarrassed. Yes, you're yelling at everybody, but you look messy. Like, we would call this in the culture, like, you look like a goofy, because now you're airing dirty laundry in front of other people and you think you're making him look bad, but you're pushing his baby, you're getting in the same car, you're driving home. So you did all that just to embarrass your man. Yeah. You did all that just like, so you're burning down your house. So to your point, it's like, what you actually want, this is not going to give to you. And from his perspective, maybe he, you know, is trying to stay for the kids. Maybe he's trying to do it like, maybe he thinks of penance. There's some noble thing on the other side of that fence. But as somebody who has like walked away from a relationship and like we had to figure out the kid situation and all that, that's not going to be satisfactory, because now he's just going to be a shell of himself for the rest of his life. And he's going to be that guy that comes home, sits on the couch, watches TV and emotionally checks out. And
Yep.
I don't see the happy, sunshine, healthy relationship result from this. It doesn't make sense to me.
No way. Hard pass.
Man, well, shout out to him. Good luck. Hope they figure it out.
No doubt.
That's all I got.
All right. Did we cover everything in the intro, though? That would be my only thing. I want to make sure I know precious little time. But if we miss something from the intro,
Elon baby mama, that's the only thing missing.
Oh, okay. There it is. So really fast on the Elon baby mama. Okay. Oh, man.
Never thought I'll have you would say those words on the show in that order.
I love that people have kids. I think it's amazing. I don't think there's anything to celebrate in somebody having as many children with as many different people seemingly as possible. Yeah, that doesn't land for me, but I'm not a baby out with the bathwater guy. So I may take what works, discard the rest. I will not be taking relationship advice from Elon. However, as an entrepreneur, woo-wee, as a government auditor, he's got my vote. But as a father, as a partner, maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. So there it is. To each our own. Do what you're going to do. Actions have consequences. Them's are all the truths.
And then somebody said the fact that the announcement came over Valentine's Day weekend means that Elon was somewhere else and she just decided to just torch it.
Yeah.
Be petty.
Wow.
You know,
there it is, boys and girls.
Look at that. Billionaires just like us all, right?
No,
we all have that one crazy ex-girlfriend.
Aren't they
right?
just?
You know, just like the
He's
rest.
just got 8 of them, so it's all right. Collecting them at this point. Okay, everybody. Speaking of things that you should be collecting, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do that. Make sure you're joining us live for episode prep at 8 a.m. Pacific time, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We spend about 4 hours engaging with you guys, prepping for the episodes. So if there's stuff you want to see us cover, that is how you're going to be a part of it. And until next time, my friends, be legendary. Take care. Peace.
Peace.